Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and good evening if you're watching us from other areas. And welcome once again to Afrique 24, and this is 60 minutes. And today, the reason why I'm here at this hour is that I've just witnessed a very interesting interview that I know most of you have not watched it. So I wanted us to break it down so that you can understand what this young man was saying. I used to be a critic of Morara at some point, but I realized that he is now maturing and understanding the Kenyan politics. Morara broke down the Kenyan politics the way I normally do it here. Me and Morara at some point hatukuwa tunasikizana sana juu ya maoni yake, but sasa ameanza kuelewa vile nilikuwa namwambia uko mwanzo, how the politics of Kenya is designed and what you need to do to win in this election. I think this is the most important interviews that I've watched this year regarding politics, and this young man's views of the Kenyan political situation is 100% correct. So please don't judge him. Just listen to this interview, courtesy of Spice FM. Now, before we start, I know most of you have not subscribed to our Freak 24 and you're watching from various platforms. Please do. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Freak, the home of real talk, bold analysis, and the voice of people. And tonight we take you into the most groundbreaking conversation happening in Kenya right now. An interview that has shaken the political class, challenged both the opposition and the government. It has confronted what many of us have feared to confront the tribal kings, and exposed the silent networks of corruption that continues to cripple our country. Today is when I realized even this guy, Mohamudende, changed his name to Vi for the election and he won. How corrupt is this country? And the man behind this powerful message is none other than Morara Kebaso, the guy we dismissed the other day, the outspoken, unfiltered, and unapologetic Morara Kebaso. I want you to listen carefully to each and every topic that and question that Morara is asked and how he answers it. Then I also want you to participate if you are watching from home. Please do participate in this conversation. It is very interesting and very, very informative. I want you to be there. If you subscribe to our freak, we'll be able to have this discussion with you also back at home. This is the most interesting conversation about the voter, who is the real voter. And then you come to realize that the real voter is actually more corrupt than the politician. So please, 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 if you're joining us for the first time and you've not subscribed, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, sir. I'm sending you the link, Jose, right now, so that you can listen to this conversation uh, with Morara. This is one of the most insightful political conversation that I've come across today. Let me play it.
The ballot. In Kenya, we need to build up something youthful. I always talk to some of my friends, and I'll mention them on this show so that they keep knowing that I'm calling on them to wake up from where they are, from their sleep, and come over. Edwin Sifuna, you cannot speak for ODM today and support broad-based government and oppose it the next day. So you have two shoes. You are the sec gen, but still there is something burning in you that something needs to change in this country. Now go with what is burning in you. Being sec gen ODM is convenience. It's just the power that you have now. What about the power that you could have? These people that are stuck with the old political parties, like Caleb Amisi, what are you doing in ODM? Already, your ideas and your thinking is pointing that there is something inside you that is burning, that something needs to change in this country. So why are you not taking initiative? Why are you afraid that, if you leave ODM, you're going to lose your seat? What's that fear? We need to move fearlessly into the future. What is this fear that Ndindi Nyoro has? That you can give all this good advice in theory, but now coming to make it practical, it becomes a very difficult thing, because you feel like if you leave government, the government will come after you. If you do this, you've already built trust with the people. You may not be a perfect human being, but you've already built trust. Why is it so difficult for us to coalesce? And
why? Why is it so difficult?
It's because even when you're dating, you can't be able to move on into a new relationship or marriage before leaving baggage of the old relationship. If you're still stuck with your ex, you cannot move into your new relationship and be fruitful. Kama bado akili yako ni ya uko kwa ex wako, uwezi ingia kwa hii relationship na ukue truthful and honest to your partner. Kwa hivyo tuachane na ex. If we are gonna move.
And now you just add that bit. You've just add that bit of Morara saying and telling these political leaders, and this is what I've been saying. Why pretend that you are criticizing the government, yet you cannot take a bold move and say that, we are forming a new coalition. This is Amisi, Sifuna, the Babu Winos, and all that. If the political parties are so rotten, why are you still staying there as the secretary general of this political party, and yet you're not even reforming it? Yeah, so why are we? So Morana goes on to elaborate in this segment and calls out these leaders that it is high time that they come out from their political parties. They should not be afraid. They should not be afraid of moving on if the idea that they have for a better country is one that resonates very well with the young generation. Morara also mentions that, the only people who will change this government are the young people. Are the young people. It will be, and if you listen further to what Morara is exposing, the networks of these tribal political movements, the DCP in Central, the Wiper in Ukambani, and UDA in Central and in Rift Valley, and by extension other regions, ODM the same in Nyanza, and by extension a few other regions that they command, because you'll find that ODM does not command, Central does not command, Eastern. So they remain with certain regions that they have captured, and most of it are tribal based, where we have these so-called kingpins. And Morara goes on to elaborate and says that, um, the the problem is that the politician is using the tribe to ensure that he gets into power, while you remain the same and you are being used. And the people of Kenya, who are the voters, are ready to vote for a corrupt leader so long as they come from your tribe. That is okay. That is okay. So long as they're a thief from my tribe, and that is okay. I will also be talking about the money aspect that I've mentioned here many, many times. The politics of today is that the goonism has come in. You have to have a budget for goons. You have to have money to buy the votes. It is simple. You have to buy. You have to bribe. And he gives a very interesting analysis in his area in Kisi, where he comes from, that a politician lines up the old men, women, youth, and children. Uh, Others, the old men are given maybe 500, the women are given 1,000, and the children are given 200 each, and the youths are given 500 each. So what are you doing to these children? Already you are putting them into a system. They are growing into a system whereby corruption is okay. Mm. So he goes on to say that, which I agree with him absolutely, that uh, these issues we should start teaching them from, in fact, from school. Before we even go to politics, let us be teachers. Let us teach people. Let us teach people. Let us not make noise, because making noise and thinking that the system is going to change and your policies are the best will not work in Kenya. If you don't have money, you can't face William Ruto. If you don't have money, you can't face your MP. And the problem is not William Ruto. The problem is us who have refused to change. Listen to this.
Move. Let's block X's number. Let us move. If X knows our house, let us move to a new neighborhood. Let us change our mobile number, which X cannot reach us anymore. And let's move into the new relationship. You've already understood that this person is toxic. You've already understood that this person, you have no future with them. By their own reasoning, they also don't have a future with you. So why are you still stuck there? So people are stuck between eating the fruits of playing the current political game versus losing their positions and embracing a new future that is real. So it will take sacrifices. There are people who lose their positions but gain them someday in the future. Are those people willing to make those sacrifices? I don't know. I'm willing to make those sacrifices, but it may not be the same for others. Probably the allure of being a member of parliament is too sweet, and you are thinking, mi natoka Mount Kenya. Nikianza kuchallenge hawa watu, I'll not get the DCP ticket. And if I don't get the DCP ticket, I'll not be the next thing I want to be, senator or governor. Let me play politics the way it has always been played, because it has been played like that and it has been proven to succeed. Even if it has been played like that, that is the source of the problem. We need to leave and build something new.
Let's take a couple of steps back, Morara, that once you were going around the country looking at ways in which Kenyans' money had been spent and that those projects were not completed, people were very switched on to like, okay, this is actually happening. What's going on? Why did that stop?
Well, first we need to acknowledge that.
Let me add just this guy here. Alex, oh my God, today is heated. This interview. Guys, karibuni. Alex, how are you, my brother?
I'm fine.
Your brother Morara is really analyzing the political situation in this country in the best way. I've never had anybody analyze politics the way it is, the way he did this interview in Spice. I want you to listen to this guy and we just break it down the way we look at politics. And we realize that this guy is actually saying that William Ruto, nobody, including the opposition, cannot remove William Ruto at this particular moment. Yeah, I want you to listen to this interview. I don't know whether you came across it.
I've listened to the interview. I listened.
You've
That's why I
listened to
came
the
in. I don't come in to
I know.
inject
I,
when
I
I know.
I know. I know. Joseph is also here. Jose Abarigani bana.
Yes, I'm very fine. I have seen Alex is there. I'm hearing what Mzalendo you are saying, and it's funny to me.
It is
But
funny. Tell
yeah,
me why. Tell me why you find this interview funny, or what I'm saying as funny.
you know the kind of guy Morara is. It's very difficult also to gauge his true. We cannot even gauge him himself because also he has been dealing with dirty ideas and stealing from coffers. So he's trying to
I
try a
think
bit to
no. In
limit.
this interview, wait, just hold your horses. In this interview, you'll explain everything there. Why manufacture in politics is important. Alex, what is your opinion after listening to a segment of this interview? Alex, I think Alex amehangi kidogo. Joseph, oh, he's back. Uh, Alex, Alex, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes. After listening to a segment of after listening to this the first segment of this interview, what do you make of it?
I don't think I want to discuss about the interview. I want to do your preamble, the way you have presented Morara Kebaso. You know, I don't know if you have political amnesia or
Uh, uh,
you're just, hold on, don't defend yourself. You know, we were just there listening to you and you tickled me to come up here, you know. Let me give a disclaimer. This is a guy who was given a goodwill by the Republic of Kenya. He came from nowhere, took advantage of the GNZ's uprising, which was good. And because, I mean, if you don't want to have a godfather in politics, you find a way to get through, you know, through chaos. And mostly people are developed through chaos, whichever kind of chaos. And if you offer an alternative, and in a democracy, you know, it's not a theocracy, people give you an opportunity and a chance. You know, monarchs are born, but theocrats and democrats are met. So the republic understood at that particular time, you know, the young people had decided to be leaderless, partyless, and so on and so forth. But somehow they had their own de facto leaders who represented the views. And I think that was from the backdrop of, I think, the trust the young men had given him because of his famous Vampire Diaries. In merits up to that particular time, I think he qualified to speak for the young people. But when you look the events thereafter, those are the disturbing events that you are ignoring, then representing us. I don't know why you're sanitizing the guy. There's a lot of questionable things. And I will say about 3 or 4, because he does not have the integrity. Because first and foremost, at age 29, he decided to retire from politics. Nobody asked him. He just came from nowhere. He wrote in his Twitter. And let me remind you what he said. Let me quote him exactly what he said. So that from there we can have a discussion, because I think you seem to forget this. Then, because the way he's questioning Edwin Sifuna and Amisi, and then you forget, this is what he said in his Twitter. I've just opened his Twitter handle. So it is a receipt. I have finally left politics. Now I can live my life, run my business, make my money, travel the world, see my friends, and visit a bar without worrying about being photographed. I am free. Nobody asked him to say that. Okay? He told us. He caved in, he quit politics. Now he's asking Sifuna and and Amisi, who have not paved, who still believe there is a better way, but they haven't found the way. They haven't announced they are quitting politics. They are looking for realignment. Well, these are very difficult moments, especially as a young person, and you understand the fate of Margaret and other people who resigned. So there are lessons that people will look and learn before they make that injunction. Now, he further went to say on the same Twitter, because I think umeongea vitu zingine mpaka nimeshangaa, like, bro, do you even read or you just get excited vile watu waka excited with Ndindi Nyoro? Nobody can judge me for dancing the wrong way or smiling the wrong way. And this he was talking because him and Kasmuel had already joined Ruto. This was his statement. Nobody can judge me for dancing the wrong way or smiling the wrong way. I don't need security. I can drive my car. I no longer have to show up for TV interviews only to be misquoted. Nobody misquoted the guy. The guy kept on venturing into how can I call it? I mean, there is no even one word that can describe the theatrics that Morara kept on. Mara nichangie pesa, mara nimeanza party. On the other hand, gari imeharibika nipe mafuta. On the other hand, I need a good PA system. On the other hand, and Kenyans gave him. Okay, let me continue again what he said, because you are presenting to us a con man and then think that what he says has credibility, not knowing that he's just
Right.
ready to again come with a different smile and a different style. Lastly, this is what he said. I was almost going mad in politics. Okay. I'm quoting what Morara was telling us. Now,
Yeah. Go on.
so,
Just
so, oh, hold on. Let me turn off my TV.
mute it a bit. Anyway, as we wait for Alex to turn on, as we wait, Joseph, maybe you can jump in, because I can see you guys are all on Morara's case. You're missing the point. Morara is talking about tribalism and corruption. You're talking about his character. Can we go on?
Character. My
Okay.
friend, don't ignore that. Morara is calling people's character here. And you want us to think that he's not doing so. You have brought this issue of him calling Edwin Sifuna. If you understood that Mara Sifuna ako hivi, Mara Sifuna ako hivi, Mara Edwin, he's calling people's character. How
Yeah.
can you call people's character and then you don't want us to call your character, so we discuss your lies? We must call out your character before even we start talking about your lies. So you don't divert. Morara should not be a subject of any narrative that Kenya must discuss. He had his opportunity, he squandered it, and therefore we are not going to give him a second chance in regard to this. Him, Ndindi Nyoro, and all these characters, it does not matter what they will say from morning to evening. They had an opportunity, they squandered it. We are moving forward. This issue of recycling people who come up with a new style and a new smile every time to gain political mileage must come to an end. You rather be what you are. The boy said resign. Now, one of the places that I really laughed about Morara Kebaso is when he had an interview with Obina, and many people failed to see the con man in this young man. He said he was expelled from Maseno. He came to Kisii, started his first business. He rented a 2-bedroom house where he was making tons and tons of money. But he ended up again going back to school, whereby the headmaster gave him free tuition because he did not have money. If you listen to Ogobina interview on how he has built his business, no, not was it Dr. Kingori? It was Dr. Kingori, not Ogobina. I'm sorry, it was Dr. Kingori, and that is one expose that Morara Kebaso gave to us in regard to how he deals with money. And you know, people reveal who they are unintentionally. But at that particular time, I think people had already, because he went on a defense mode, and he was tired of people telling him, like, return the money. You have sold us, so on and so forth. And, you know, finally, you know, the case was open about his taxes. He said he's ready to open the books, so on and so forth. While the issue of taxes and KRA came in, that is when finally he had to quit after he had a meeting with Sudi. So you are bringing a point, it's okay, and it doesn't bother me. However, you must put the disclaimer that this guy retired from politics. Now he can visit a bar. He said it himself, my friend, we are not here to lie. So one day he could have said, oh, now I have come from retirement. Okay? That could have been a little bit fair. Because people come out of retirement. 29 years is too early to retire. But then announce again, okay, you've come out of retirement so that we can be able to scrutinize you. Secondly, you cannot purport that we should not inject on this young man. Let me use his own name, his own narrative, inject on him. When he is using the opportunity to inject on Sifuna and Amis, I am not purporting here that both of them are doing the right thing, Amisi and Oisa. However, they are still in politics and they are trying to find a better way to resolve the current conundrum without quitting politics. So somebody who quit politics has no audacity, credibility to talk about the politics that you already quit. Secondly, you cannot purport to inject on people who have never caved or done what you did dishonorably. So you're urging them to do what you did so that you can take their space. I think Morara Kebaso should leave Kenyans alone, just like Kasmuel and others. So if you want to discuss the point, bring out the point without bringing Morara Kebaso na kumpaka peanut and butter kuwa, you know, you've never seen a better Morara Kebaso. I mean, that's a pure lie.
All right, all right. I think Morara Kibasu said that he quit politics, but that does not relegate him not to speak about politics. I don't think he quit running for the presidency and collecting money as a candidate, but he has an opinion
There
as a
is
businessman
there
and
is a
as a
difference
Kenyan.
of saying you've
Yeah.
quit politics, but you will engage in politics. Uhuru Kenyatta said that he is still in politics by saying, even though I am retired, I'm not tired. He came out clearly, okay? And that is why we are able to listen to him.
All right, all right.
Morara put a pen and said politics scandal, totally.
All right, okay.
No more interviews, no more ABCD. He doesn't have to go to TV. Now he's on TV.
I think you're using you're being very judgmental on Morara.
No, it's
and
not
y-
being judgmental. My
and
friend, you are
yet
pushing a narrative here,
you know very well how our politicians are. They've been turning
but
around.
that should not continue. It shouldn't
Exactly,
be like it's
exactly.
coming from one generation to another. Let's get used to the old politics and old generation that they did that. But with the new crop of politicians like Morara Kebaso and Kasmuel, they
Mhm.
cannot be allowed. They have a long way to go to start lying too early.
All right, thank you, Alex. Let me at this point introduce Joseph. Joseph, karibu sana Afrique 24, and you've seen how this discussion is heated, and people are getting into Morara's character. But Morara is claiming that corruption is protected at the highest level. Do you agree, or do you think he's overstating the problem, or he should not talk about it because he's not a politician?
What I can clearly say is Kebaso Morara is now the same with the likes of Akina Mike Bichachi. He's just a political commentator.
Mm-hmm.
He cannot become. He left politics, so he's just a political commentator. His work is just to commentate on politics. He cannot be. He's coming to say who is doing what and who is doing what. I have even heard him saying there that somebody cannot be elected without money. I really wondered what of the likes of the MP who was elected in Meru, and the one who was elected, and the one who we always say Anabuta Bangi is called Usalasi. There were people who were elected without money. They did not have any money, as even if they had, it was not that kind of money that you could say they were able to nini their voters. So him talking about, sometimes you want to become, you want to leave politics, then you want to show us you want to come back to politics, then you don't even we don't even understand you. So he's coming, Morara Kebaso is coming to talk about issues, I think, even which are very, very difficult for him. He's coming to talk about issues of Mount Kenya. I've heard him talking about issues of Mount Kenya and how the leaders are going to be supporting one party.
No, Alex, Joseph, just wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a second. Do you know? I had Morara saying that the elected MP for Mbere, the newly elected MP for Mbere, he had actually changed his name in order to vie. Changed his real name.
That one, even no need for Morara to tell us. We already know because the Standard already had injected that guy. So he's just reading at the script of the Standard.
But what he's saying is that you already know, but you still voted for him.
Who?
You already know that this guy is corrupt, he's a thief, he's done ABCD, but you still vote for him.
But we all know what happened.
What is wrong with Morara saying that?
But we already know what happened in Bere North. Why is he talking like he just came from New Jerusalem and came to Kenya? It's like he just dropped in Nairobi yesterday.
Did they reject Mudende or Mudende guy? They elected him.
And how do you know if Mudende won or lost? Because
so Morara is the first one to say that. It's like you're coming out of somewhere thinking that Morara is the first one to know that now there's a big revelation. My friend, don't give Morara credit where he does. We know its name was changed. Okay, for your record, even J.D. Vance, the Deputy President of America, has changed the name severally. Okay, so it's not Morara who discovered that. He's just amplifying it. So why you give him credit as if nobody knows that Wamudende changed his name? Is it Morara? You can give yourself credit that you've known it through Morara. That's not a new revelation.
No, let me ask you. This guy was facing criminal charges. And
but Mzalendo, the character of the guy who's coming to tell us about Wamudende.
It is
one minute, Mzalendo. The character of the guy who's coming to tell us about Wamudende, he took money from people and he never accounted for it. He was given money which was supposed to be doing his expeditions of showing at, I don't know, the diaries of water. He never accounted for that money. People are asking him, what did you do with the money? Some is saying that I need to be bought, I don't know, a new Prado, I don't know, TX. That guy, truly, when he was coming to end his campaign, he was already a guy who was misusing people's resources. And even people had come to a stop where they had said, we are not going to send him money.
All right.
because he's
Listen,
doing nothing.
listen,
So him coming
Joseph,
and telling us that he's going
I,
to show us that about other people who are corrupt. First, my friend, you need to sanitize yourself before you start coming telling us that how people are corrupt. Corruption is there. There is no need for us to. That one does not even need anybody in a layman to tell you that corruption in Kenya is real. And people have voted MPs who are corrupt. But
listen to what you just said and how he explained it.
And build something new.
Let's take a couple of steps back, Morara, that once you were going around the country looking at ways in which Kenyans' money had been spent and that those projects were not completed. People were very switched on to like, okay, this is actually happening. What's going on? Why did that stop?
Well, first we need to acknowledge that there is very huge cyber warfare in Kenya, where state operatives target any critics of the government through sponsored hate on social media. And before we become activists or people trying to effect political change, we are people who come from families, we are businesses, we have reputations to protect and children to protect and our own safety. And when the state overwhelms you with social media hate through being targeted by these bloggers, probably you need to take a step back because you can't outcompete them.
Okay.
They are using state resources to have thousands of youth hired as bloggers who register several accounts, and therefore if a lie is told on social media, or if they defame you, or if they go after your reputation, it can be overwhelming, even to you and even to your family. And at some moment, you have to take a breather, take a step back, look at the bigger picture, understand what you're doing and why you're doing it, how achievable it is in the short term and in the long term. And that is what I needed, a much needed break to also look at myself as a person. Before I look at the country, what do I want to do for myself before I think about what I want to do for Kenya? And I've taken a break and I've thought through it, and I've realized, well, I can be extremely successful as an individual, which I'm partly I am, and continue to be successful in business and in many other things that I do. But it's not enough. It's not enough to be individually successful.
Right.
It still bothers me that there are people out there who are jobless and unable to secure job opportunities, not out of their own fault and not because they didn't acquire enough education, but because they have a government that is destroying job opportunities by running down the economy. It still bothers me that there are people out there who are completely unable to start a business because of access to capital, because we have reduced our banking system and access to capital to be a bandit economy. I was listening to you on my way here, and I heard you say we become a wash country that just enables money laundering and other illegal activities as legitimate careers. And people are therefore unable to turn the dreams that are in their head into realities on the ground. So these are things that still bother me when I sleep. And I feel there are little steps I can do. Probably I can't carry the whole world in my shoulders, but I still have to make an attempt to bring some change. If the favor of God is upon me to bring that change, then I hope to see it during my lifetime. But if it is not, I believe I'll be part of the voices that will go into that change if it comes someday into the future.
Morara, you see, when we talk about what you
All right, Joseph, I think he explained why he had to go slowly in politics. I hope you understood what he said
no,
about.
I never understood anything that he said. I just heard him yapping. I think he was so immature in politics. When you enter to politics, you know these things happen. You know that the government you are going to go against, they are going to raid you. Why do you even need to enter in that politics if you know those are the conditions? He's talking about people hating him and bloggers writing what. Those are things that happen when you enter in politics. Why do you need to enter politics? Leave it for the people who have the will. Leave it completely. Why do you want to enter in those politics? You continue with your businesses. Leave politics out of it. But if you want to enter in the real politics, you should man up. I think he was very young, 29 years. I think that's the issue. He was a very young man who is trying to enter politics and try to come with a force that's why you are told politics mtu huenda pole pole. But in politics mtu anaambiagwa anaenda pole pole bwana. You cannot kanyaga hizo steps unataka zile kubwa. But for him, I think he needs to quit politics, focus on his businesses, because he's still even talking about his businesses. When you enter politics, you're supposed to know that these things will happen. Your life will always be at stake, because if you are going to be fighting against the government, they have the machinery to kuweza kukufinya kidogo. So I don't know. That's why some of us, even we don't want to enter in this politics. Some of us want to be commentators or commentating the politics, because we know
I think Jose Morara has learned his lessons, and that's why he wants to be a commentator like you. And he also
it's
don't
better
want
you
to
become a
be
commentator than saying you'll be a politician, because
But
a politician is
Morara is not asking to become a commentator. Let's analyze Morara's words, because you said, okay.
Yeah, I want you to analyze what he's saying.
Yeah, so first and foremost, Morara has acknowledged that he caved out and he quit politics.
Yes.
Now he's asking if he can come. But he's also revealing a personality that, despite my coming back, when the pressure is too much, because the government can pressurize me, please still allow me to go back to retirement. So the thing is, Morara has just told us that because the government has power, if it gets to a certain point, because he has businesses to protect, because he has a family to protect, he will do what it takes to protect himself, his business, and his family before he can protect the interests of the people who are bankrolling him. So I don't know why you're not seeing that as a questionable character, because the only reason Kenyans of goodwill who are not successful as he thinks he is, okay, were able to contribute a little bit is because they wanted not only hope, they wanted change. And they knew that you don't retreat within a certain period. You must move with the masses until you achieve. It's like your wedding and saying, till death do us apart. Okay? When Morara is saying that he's successful, he must remember the people that were bankrolling him. The one is saying that may not be successful the way he is. Okay? And he acknowledges that he's successful. Haven't achieved what they wanted, despite and in spite, giving him money to buy the PA, bankrolling his day in out, bankrolling his security, and giving him a name that actually right now he has to be operating his businesses. So Morara has not changed his personality or the way of thinking in regard to how politics operates. Now, it's us the other day we were talking about Raymond Omolo. Raymond Omolo has an avalanche of online attackers. I don't know if he cahoots with, who is that? Itumbi. There, I agree with Morara. Like, there is a surge of online bullies. Okay? Now, the same thing he's criticizing that was done to him to give him pressure to retreat. Now he's amplifying it in another way by criticizing Sifuna and Caleb, thinking that for him he has the entitlement. Okay, he has a sole entitlement to do that without looking the position of both these two young men, who actually are young but are even more into elective and day-to-day politics. So he does not see the amount of pressure. So he's talking about pressure, thinking it was only given to him, but he doesn't know the pressure Sifuna has gone through to the point that the president has told him, I want you to get, you and me know that the one thing that Ruto wants immediate is the removal of Edwin Sifuna from that party. You know that. So he cannot see the pressure that Sifuna has and Hamisi, but yet he wants to amplify the past pressure that he had. He does not see even the more danger that Sifuna goes through by being against the party principle. For instance, when he was talking about Article 36, when the Nairobi women rep presented to parliament to abolish what? Picketing. Sifuna came out loud. Okay? Sifuna has gone loud even to say that nobody wants to register to run in Malava. Okay? And that really hit him hard. And he was criticized across, within and out. You've heard talks, people saying that Sifuna must go out of ODM. Okay? So if Morara Kebaso wants to talk about pressure, he should be the first person to console the two because they are in the heat that he has been. But he cannot think that he has a political entitlement to cave in politically and retreat and come back, but others cannot do it in their way. If Morara can stop criticizing Sifuna, and had he not criticized Sifuna and Amisi, then I would have said that obviously he's a political commentator. Morala is not a political commentator at this particular time. She wants to see some political careers die. And he comes out not only as a parasite, but as a state, okay, covert, masquerading as a commentator to tell people like Sifuna and Anamisi that we will deal with you. So that is not political analyzing. He's throwing jabs because he's being paid to do it. And that's the business he's talking about.
So Alex, you mean Morara Kebaso is a political goon?
He has been.
He's a political goon because he's been used to finish others politically.
You know, the moment they shook hands with Kasmuel, you remember one of the last interviews they had where they had that bromance and they were talking about how good Ruto is after all the things they had said. What do you make it? What do you make out of that?
I think you are Alex. Alex. You know, you are bringing a very. You are right at some point, but you are not looking at the bigger picture. When Sifuna is facing criticism and pressure, external pressure and internal pressure to quit ODM, why is he not choosing to quit? There's a reason why he's not quitting, and there's a reason why he's not resigning. The reason is that even if he's removed from the party, they will not have any reasons to remove him from the party. He can still go to court and continue being the SG for ODM. Remember Raila when he was facing a lot of pressure, he quit and he went back to the voters in Kibra and they elected him. You have forgotten that also. Remember Kibaki when he was facing pressure in Kanu, he quit and went back to Odhaya and vied on a DP ticket and he won that election. That is what Morara is saying. But you guys are not looking at that. You're looking at Morara, his character, but you're not looking at what he's saying, whether it's making sense or not. So,
you know, you are failing to see that Morara is explaining to us that the pressure that we gave him, you know, you are the one failing to see the critical angle here, and yet blame you are another Kebaso.
No. Tell me.
You are another Kebaso. Don't twist. Don't be a political narcissist here. You know, Alex, turning around issues so that we can debate.
No.
Morara is the one who has come out of retirement. Nobody has asked him to come out of retirement. So we will still give him the pressure that he gave.
I'm looking at the context of his statement. I'm not looking at
Well,
Morara
you
the
cannot
character.
look at the context without
Why?
looking
Why
at the
don't I mean?
content.
Why don't you look at the statement Morara has said?
No, your problem is this. You
No,
want to
is it
tell
that?
me that
No?
Morara has credibility,
The statement
and
is correct,
therefore,
but it's coming from the wrong person. Is that what you're saying?
Nick, let me ask you a question. What has Morara said that we have not seen? Morara is talking about things that have been happening there. What new
No,
has he
what we are
invented there?
saying, Morara is talking about the political situation in the country,
He's
and
talking about corruption and
are
all
you
these
in
other
depth of
things.
that situation?
huh?
Is it that you don't know that situation?
We
No,
already know them.
it's like
No,
I've
Mzalendo, whatever Morara is saying, is it new?
no, whatever he's saying that is new is what not so many people are talking about, including
No,
yourself.
just say that we are not
Let me
having a
tell you what
discussion
he's
the way he
saying.
wants us to have it.
Okay,
But whatever he's saying is not new. That's the first thing. Secondly, don't amplify here that what Morara is saying is so important and is the only one talking about it.
That is why we have this conversation, so that you bring more clarity to this issue. If he's saying that our election, hey, I can see Mise. Mise wants to join the studio. Mise Karibu Sana, let me send you the link. Just give me a second. I'm sending it on your WhatsApp page. And you have your brother here, Alex and Joseph. All right, Mise, I've
You
sent
know, I
you
came here.
the link on your WhatsApp.
I didn't come here to talk politics. I was just listening on my TV. I think I'm gonna go down. But what I
No.
was saying, and I want to solidify my statement more and more, is that Morara cannot criticize Tifuna and Amisi for forgetting and telling us that pressure made him to quit. And now he's exerting pressure to other people.
Aya, Morara, umesikia ndugu yako huko anasema, yani don't exact pressure to other people, yet you quit. Wewe mwenyewe you threw you in the towel, meaning that the Kenyan politics was too much for you. And now you want your fellow Sifuna elected leaders to follow suit. But one thing I agree with Morara, although you might not agree in this, is that the coming elections in 2027, both the opposition and the current government, they need the young people to win the election badly. If young people can register as voters, then they stand a better chance to beat William Ruto's government. I don't know whether this statement is correct, but I believe that the young people have got the knowledge, have got the numbers to win the elections in 2027. Mise, karibu sana ndugu yangu, long time. I've not seen you for a while, my brother.
Thank you, thank you. Nick, it's good to see you.
Yeah, bana, Nick, is good to see you. Alex is here, Joseph is here, na watazamaji wote ulimwengu mzima, people watching us from Qatar, Norway, Hungary, Russia, Ukraine, and you only seeing Nick here, Mzalendo. Okay, sawa sawa, miss, I'll spare you for now, but we are discussing the context of this message that Morara was trying to pass around. First of all, welcome, Mise, to the studio. And today I just came across this interview of Morara on Spice, and I found it interesting. And some of these things that Morara is saying is what is happening in the political arena unchecked. First of all, he says that the problem with Kenyan vote, the problem with Kenya is not the leaders, the problem is the voters. And he goes on to give an analysis of the area where he comes from in Kisi, where the local MP is a well-known wash, and then he lines up the young primary kids, wanapanga line, wamama wanapanga line, wazee wanapanga line, anawapatia 1,500 na 200, yeah, na 200. Now tell me, what kind of society are we building? This is what Morara is asking. Hii ni society gani mheshimiwa anakuja anapeana pesa, anapanga wazee, anapanga wamama, anapanga vijana na anapanga watoto na tunashangilia, and then this same guy anakuja anauliza kura na tunampigia 80%.
I would want are we talking about the same Alex that we know ama ni nani? Alex Mgani?
Huyu ni Alex moja ule unamjua, amekuona akajua hii siasa itakuwa kali sana, akasema acha nitoroke.
No, Alex is a good man. He's a good man.
He's a good man. He's watching behind the scenes.
Yeah, it means well for us. But what Morara is saying is actually very true. You know, and if there is anyone who is going against what Morara is saying, is actually not very sincere. Morara has highlighted in that interview things that I've also been watching, and I want to add to that list. Besides bloggers, I also want to add another list of people that have actually made us to be backward politically. Look at people like artists, wasanii, wanamsiki. Anywhere, any politician who has money, as long as he pays them and hires them, they praise him, right? They have not seen, except Eric Wainaina. I think he's the one who has been an activist and who probably less likely will attend. But I think, again, if it's a gig and has a lot of money, probably might go. But the majority, 99.999 artists, they are used to amplify the injustices that we have in our country. That is why everywhere, even in Uganda, you see the artists, even the most remarkable artists.
Like this other guy, it's called Chameleon.
Like Chameleon, they are
Chameleon is now being used by the government.
They are used by the government. So it's all about money. It's all about money that people are making, and that is what everyone is thinking. Nick, if all these artists stood up and rallied against poor governance, sang about poor governance, used their art to educate the people about how they can make proper and right choices, then only then we can have proper governance. You understand? But that's not what is happening. Bloggers, everyone, let us not also blame only politicians. Look at it's not that politician in Kisii alone. Look at Oscar Sudi. The other day,
Oscar Sudi.
Yeah, the other day I saw that. I saw that Oscar Sudi. I saw Oscar Sudi. People are lining up for the Christmas. Man, all the way, almost the entire, like you have like almost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. Where does Oscar Sudi get that money that he's giving if he's not going to steal from the taxpayer? So we must begin. We lack, the challenge that we have today is lack of patriotism. We have a culture of showing off how many vehicles you have in your convoy, how many bodyguards you have, how many people are going to come in the fundraising that you're bringing money to give to the people. And equally, this makes these politicians to, the more they give you, the more they go back and steal to bring back to you. And if they come to you empty-handed, and that's why I agree with Morara, if they come with you to you empty-handed, kuuza sera, you can't listen to them, They will tell you ongea haraka uende bana, ongea haraka utupee yenye ulikuwa unatupea. And I'm telling you from first hand experience, I did vie in 2017. He'll tell you, you know, we like you, we know that you are able to deliver, but for now what we want you uongea haraka utupee yenye unatupea tuende. When we have a society like that, that is more driven by how much you're giving them, they are selling their own right. They are selling. How can you hold them accountable? How can you hold leaders accountable? Because they stole, they gave you, and now there is no way you can go back and hold them accountable. If you remember, Nick, during our time, and
Yeah.
I'm glad that you worked in KBC. We used to have patriotism, patriotic songs, you know, and people used to listen. They had a message, and that message used to make us love our country, you know, respect our country, respect our leaders. But that is no more. We don't have through media houses, they don't talk about patriotism. You don't see any media house that is bringing leaders who are going to or human right activists who are teaching us about how we can become patriotism by voting the right leaders, by rejecting the leaders who are bribing us. We don't have leaders or media houses that are focusing on talking about the effects of corruption, you know, because even the media houses are corrupted. That's why Morara is saying we as the voter are the problem, because the Article 1 of the Constitution says power is vested in the people, right? And if power is vested in the people, then the people can either we donate those powers to the people, to our representative. If they fail to represent us, then we need to redeem our power and and represent ourselves or represent our petitions the right way. But when we fail, when we are compromised, you know, Nick, ukikuja kwangu nikupee chakula hata kama ulikuwa na beef, hiyo roho mbaya inarudi chini kidogo, right? So that is where the idea that you have to own this much is what is really killing us. Look at people like Michuki, you know, look at people like you know, Samuel Bogisio and some leaders like Saitoti when they were there, even though they might have stolen, but at least they stole a bit, and the greater part of it, they had goodwill for the country. That is why,
Yeah, yeah, patriotism.
yeah,
You
that
could see
patriotism,
Michuki passionate about working for Kenya.
working for Kenya, and they would wake up early in the morning, go to the office, and work. And that is why today, when you look back, you can see the impacts of the leadership of Michuki, because they meant well for the country. We need leaders like those. If you look at someone like Samuel Bogisio, that today, the fact that we have good internet infrastructure in Kenya,
Yeah.
this comes as a result of good people, good leaders who meant well.
Yeah, in position. I remember he was
Yeah,
the Minister for Information.
and they worked with the Bitangen demo and
And he works
leaders.
and he works with Bitange now is a lecturer. Look at these guys. These were patriotic Kenyans, and they were just let go like that. And then today we have some the Kabogos coming into
Who
that
dockets,
ministry.
and they cannot. And let me tell you something, and I think sometimes we elect leaders who do not know what to do. Like look at Bogisio. Bogisio understood that Bitange Nema was well knowledgeable. He was an expert. He knew what needed to be done, and he gave him that platform. And Bitange Demo did us very well, and we are in Africa right now. We are second after South Africa. Imagine before we used to get our internet from South Africa. Now, if you look at the technology in terms of when you look at rating, now Kenya is the most advanced or progressing country technologically, right? So those are some those that's the effects, the impacts of good governance and people who understood, technocrats who understood. If you look at education, you will see the intention, the rationale, the policy is good. Those who are now implementing that policy are either not doing the right thing, but the people who are there, like Dr. Fred Matiang'i, when he was there, he meant well, and you can see the structure was good. But now, rolling out that is and enforcing it and executing it is the problem. And so the problem is with us. We need to go back and say, look, we have a problem. We have a pandemic of what is it called, of lack of patriotism. How do we heal that? My children, how do we start bringing back those songs that were teaching us how to be patriotic? That's why you see a song like ile yenye imeimbwa tuishangilie Kenya.
Kenya, na, 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 na,
when
na.
when you hear people can resonate with it. We had good broadcasters like Leonard Mambo Mbotela. When they came to the studio, they spoke about patriotism,
Do you
right?
know? Do you know what happened today? Sorry to
One thing I
interject.
would like to differ with Mr. is
Mhm.
Kenyans are patriotic. What really has happened is we have had leaders who over time have taken advantage of our patriotism. It's not that we are not patriotic. If you want to know Kenyans are patriotic, go and watch when they are watching a match between Kenya and another country. Go to the internets when you are seeing people, these tourists coming to Kenya, and most of them welcoming them and telling them come to Kenya and visit the magical Kenya. When you see people in the internets, when you see Kenya being people talking about Kenya negatively, you see Kenyans coming out. Kenyans are patriotic, but what has happened? We have had leaders who are not patriotic. That is what we should be talking about. People who take the interest to themselves. They can even take 500 billion and put the money in the accounts of their daughters. That is what truly has happened in this country. Uh, I'm still patriotic to my country because I know we can go very far. But it is very sickening that every time you will hear that almost 3.5 billion is getting lost every day, and you wonder to yourself, where are we heading as a country? That is what we are in. We are not in a scenario where we are not patriotic. We are in a scenario where we are in a crossroad between between how are we going to go at it as a country and how are we going to change these vices. But the leaders who are still there, we talked about technocrats, we talked about media personalities like Akinaleni Mambo Botela, but you forget that even the media personalities nowadays, they're not patriotic to themselves, because if you find media personalities who have gone to the government and crossed there to the other side, you hear them talking things that even you don't understand. And when they were in the media, you could see them clearly. They were people who are very reckoned with. I have examples like I will not like to give here, but you know the media personalities who have crossed over, and you can see how their attitude changed. But before, they were very good and nice, and they could even show us things that were happening in the government that were wrong. But now I think what happens when you cross to the other side, your interest becomes more than the patriotism in the country. So I
So,
think Kenyans,
so
the
you're
ordinary
agreeing.
Kenyans are
So
patriotic.
you're agreeing with us that patriotism is no longer in us. We cannot unite when it comes to celebrations, and not unite against corruption. We cannot unite when it's about toxicity and selective application of unity. When actually the future generation, or what the issues that relate to our future generations is at stake. The leaders that you're talking about, let's say for example Muhammad Ali mwenye alikuwa wakati wa Jijopevu, you know, we liked him, and probably was elected on the basis that he's going to be a whistleblower if he gets to the government. But you will quickly learn that when you rise to the position of authority, you are compelled by the very same voters or voters to behave in a certain way, or else they will quickly denounce you or reject you because you're not dispensing what they expect from you as a leader. So before, if the majority of us are patriotic enough, then we should be able to host the minority that is actually that is actually making decisions over us. Nick, I was listening to another interview where this gentleman said that he worked in a treasury. I've forgotten the member of parliament that actually who sits in a committee that oversights the national debt. And he said he quickly learned that Kenya Power, for instance, a loan is taken in the name of Kenya Power, but Kenya Power doesn't know that they have a loan. A loan is taken by the Minister of Agriculture. Is holding a loan, but a loan facility, but they don't know that a loan has been taken. But you see, with the in the wake of technology, where now we can people like Morara Kebaso are coming out and are educating us, people will quickly not rise up not to like him. The other day I was watching him taking us to the sewage in Ruaraka, not Ruaraka, but Ruai,
Why?
and he was telling us of the piece of land that was about 4,000 acres, and how many acres that have been stolen that are worth $18 billion. People like him who expose the wrong of the leaders, the wrongdoing of the leaders, the corruption nature of leaders, people will rise against him and paint him to look like he has nothing that he's giving us. And people like bloggers, the ones that he's saying, they are used as instruments and tools to silence the voices of reason and purpose to educate the public. So this is the kind of pandemic that we have, and the only way we can rise up is going back, invoking Article 1 of the Constitution, that is power is invested in the people, and the people can rise up and exercise that power.
Thank you very much,
You
Miss.
know why,
Yes.
Nick? You know why I'm saying
Mm.
Marara is very fragile. He's very, very fragile. If you have decided to become an activist, because that is what the work he was doing, he was trying to educate people on the things that the government is not doing. If you are trying to become an activist, you need to become hardened. You don't need to have the shells like of an eggshell. That if we had a Wangari Maathai who had an eggshell of a person, we be having Uhuru Park now? It could have already become a concrete jungle. But this guy, why I don't rate him so much is because when you see, when you are an activist and things start happening, like even he has not been touched. He's talking about bloggers. Mzalendo, Wangare Madai live even becoming abused by the government and the MPs at that time. He was even beaten. She was beaten. This guy, where have he been beaten? Amepigwa wapi huyu? He's
No,
just talking about it means he's very fragile. You cannot
let me.
become an activist if you are very fragile like that. That there is no activism in you. If the
No,
things, Morara Kebaso is very good, the things that he was doing. But more so, we already know the things that are happening, Nanim Zalendo.
no,
We
no,
know the
no, no, no.
government has been giving us.
I disagree with you. I disagree with you
How?
in that.
You don't know that the government has been lying to
No,
us?
no, no,
There
no.
is no
What?
roads which are being built. That is something
Listen.
that Morara Kebaso need to come and
Uh,
tell you.
just a minute, Jose. Just a minute. Just a minute. Before Morara started Vampire Diaries, we knew that corruption was there, but we didn't know the extent of corruption. We didn't
I, I
know
think I think even the
the
person you're
places
supposed to
where
be
this.
giving credit is Gashagwa. Even Morara himself has
No,
not told us what is happening inside. Gashagwa has told us
Gachagua
even the
was
things that
part
have been
of the
sold by this
corruption.
government.
Gachagua
Yeah,
has
that's
been
why I'm
part of the
telling you.
corruption.
If we are going to celebrate somebody because he's coming to tell us what is happening, also let us celebrate also Rigathi Gachagua. Why don't
No,
we
no, no.
celebrate him and say
I don't
he
want.
told us
I don't
about the
want.
corruption happening in the
I
government?
don't want because when Morara was exposing this, Gachagua was part of government,
But he's
and
still exposing. You're saying that you appreciate somebody because he exposes.
no, no, no.
That is what you're trying to tell me.
I agree. I agree with Gachagua. Whatever he's doing, so long as he's doing the right thing to expose corruption that affects many of us who pay taxes, it is okay. But this young man, don't vilify him for doing the right thing. The right
Yeah.
thing was that he came up with a very unique idea, and that was Vampire Diaries, something that you had never seen, I had never seen before, and he started highlighting the corruptions in the country. That was so
So,
unique, and that one
Zalendo,
gave him a
what happened?
platform.
So,
Nick,
Yeah,
me. I
Nick,
talk about something, something
before
that
I
has
go,
had a conclusion. Eh? What
before,
happened after he exposed all these things?
Jose,
What truly happened?
everybody
Jose,
came fighting. People like you came fighting him.
yeah,
Then what happened?
He
Jose,
had, he
Nick,
had,
Nick,
yes.
before I'm about to step out from the office, but
No.
here's the thing. Jose, if Gachagua is among the people we should celebrate, we should also be ready to celebrate Morara Kebaso. Morara Kebaso is a young man. He has a young family, and the time of Wangari Maathai, even when wakati walikuwa wanachapwa, kulikuwa na huruma kidogo. Nowadays hakuna huruma hata kidogo kabisa. So as
Tunamaliza.
much as he would want to even is risking his life more than Jose, you and me can be able to risk and be and still live in the country and even speak openly the way he does. So I really appreciate people like him who come out. Gashagwa, sasa angalia Nick, mimi ninakuwa mlevi nimekunywa pombe, nimetosheka, nimefika miaka yangu, alafu naanza kusema msikunywe pombe, msikunywe. Unajua wakati tulikuwa tunakunywa tulikuwa hivi na hivi na hivi. It means he's been part of the system. He's been an enabler of the system. I love Gachagua, and I'm a sympathizer of Gachagua. But at the same time, when we are crucifying the people who have been enablers of corruption in this country, Gachagua will not be excluded. He will be part of them because he supported. He was drumming support. He clapped and sang Kumbaya for his leader and his boss, a time when the country was crying. And when he was kicked out of the system, he started exposing them. Is this sour grapes that is coming? Is he doing it because now he's out of the system? While we appreciate the information that he's giving us, but we must also say, listen, you are part of the system. You have no moral authority to point fingers. At least Morara Kebaso might
Listen,
have
there
all
is
the
one point you're missing as you're continuing
highest
because
position in the land
listen,
bring change.
you're forgetting that Morara Kebaso was part of that system. He was part of the campaign of Ruto in 2022. Why are you not forgetting about that?
But did
He
he hold
campaigned
any?
for Ruto vigorously
I campaigned
as
for
a
Ruto.
youth wing.
I campaigned for Ruto. Alex here
So
alitutukana.
he's part of that system.
No, Alex alitutukana hapa. But have I ever hold a government position that you can hold me accountable?
This
No.
issue of diverting to Alex when you're asked a question,
It was one way of saying hi, Alex.
nobody abused you. Nobody insulted you or abused you. We were just having a robust conversation, and it
No.
was during campaign time. So by coming here to lie that we insulted you, I mean, that is not neither here or there. On the record, don't lie that we insulted you.
No, you did actually. You
There were robust debates that were had in regard to the credibility of William Samoei Ruto and Gachagua at that particular time, and it was not an insult. So don't say nilikutukana. I mean, and then Nick,
am I lying?
you should protect me.
Humiliated for supporting Ruto at the time.
Nick, you should not allow myself to be named that I insulted somebody without putting an hindsight.
I knew you do. You are very much capable of defending yourself. You do not let it go.
Yeah, so I think somebody should leave my name out of this.
I think you've answered it.
My point is not that we are not celebrating Kebaso, and nobody will stop celebrating Kebaso. So that's on a personal level.
Yeah.
What we are saying again is not comparing Morara Kebaso with Gachagua. Those are divertory issues. What we are talking in essence right here is Morara could have said whatever he would have said, and nobody could have responded it. But don't tell us that pressure and online taunting and so on made you cave and retreat. You've rested enough, now you've come fresh. While you are attacking Sifuna and Amisi and giving him the pressure, giving both the pressure that you couldn't handle. Get my point? Nobody is saying Morara has not done anything that should not be celebrated. That was not the point. The point is very clear, Kwa. While you explain to us the reason you took a sabbatical leave, not quitting politics, come out by saying you took a sabbatical leave, you've come back, you've learned a lot, very clear. But don't try to put pressure on others that you could not handle.
Nick,
If
for
at
the
some
record,
point the two will want to retreat, that's on their personal level. The same way Morara did not consult anybody.
All right, Mise.
For the record, let me say this. You know, as I want to say that we made decisions in the past to support William Ruto because and Gachagua, and we thought that they were going to transform our country to a greater country, more and liberate the country.
Are we talking again about Gachagua and Ruto supporting that? Something that happened 2 years ago. I mean, you had a topic here based, and that's what we are listening to.
I think it's my time to speak. So we these people they let us down, and we cannot miss to criticize them and speak out that our expectation was not met. And we are among the people who are very disappointed with their leadership and their public disagreement. And this is a classic example of our leaders use voters to climb to the highest office and still do nothing and expect us to continue supporting them. What Morara is doing is bringing awareness to young people and is challenging us as a people that we can rise. We don't have to be in position of power in order to speak on the corruption and the poor governance, that we can use avenues that we have. And when we find that it's getting too much, we can take a break and come back again, not to give up. So, and that's what exactly we can continue doing.
Your point is taken. However, as you take a sabbatical leave,
I think you interjected me.
Don't.
Alex,
you're still not addressing the point.
You don't like being interjected. You are one person who doesn't like being interjected. I didn't expect that from you.
And then also there is this.
Yeah, because we are listening from down there. You're changing the topic completely. No, you've sanitized Kebaso as if that he has done something not wrong. And I'm just wondering, where did Ruto and Gachagua come from? We just wanted to listen to a conversation.
Alex, you missed the point and the context of this argument. When you stepped out, we were Jose and I were having conversation, and it is in that line
because you came and overran and changed the topic.
And that is okay. That's why we have a moderator, and I don't think you are one of the moderator. The moderator understands that this is
okay. Bye, moderator. So, bye. We'll listen to you from downstairs. If this is the character that always comes, now you can discuss anything you want because the moderator allows you.
Alex, the moderator even tried to change the topic.
With you, Alex. It's good to listen to other debaters, even if you don't agree with whatever they're saying.
But Nick, you're the one who changed the conversation when you talked about patriotism. And you started talking about Akina.
Mr. said a long time ago we were very patriotic. Kenyans were very patriotic. There were things that were joining us. You also talked about football joining Kenyans as a way.
No, you were trying to. The topic was truly about Morara Kebaso and what.
No, the topic is not truly about Morara Kebaso. No, the topic is about the issues that is raising. Don't bring the issue, the topic as Morara Kebaso.
But you cannot talk the topic without talking the person. You need to talk the person as you're talking the topic.
Tribalism divides Kenya and prevents progress. Some argue tribal identity can be a unifying factor. What is your take on that?
Absolutely.
This is the question he was
So by
missing
saying that Morara should be
but
celebrated, now that's an
Alex,
issue that we were talking. You
Alex,
know, I think you are
you have
biased
your
here based
opinion.
on
You have your
when
opinion.
we
You
throw
don't
a
want to
jab on
Listen,
you,
there's no biasness.
you
Just
want
look
us
at the
to talk
topic.
issues. But
Morara
when you
Kebaso,
and Miss are talking, you talking about personalities.
No, I look at the topic. Morara Kebaso exposes tribalism and corruption like never before.
Is that
Well,
not
what
a
is wrong with
personality?
that? What
You
is wrong
know,
with the title?
then
What,
then then then,
give
then
me,
stick to
give me
it.
what is wrong
It's
with
not
that
about
title.
celebrating Morara.
Listen,
Well, we are
Alex,
not celebrating. Who
Alex,
said we are
Alex,
celebrating?
But
Alex,
somebody just said we should celebrate him.
Alex, we don't
You
have.
know,
Here's
look,
what you
Listen,
miss,
maybe
I
we should
Alex.
think,
celebrate him.
Alex,
as
Alex, you missed something. You do.
you know, when I came here
We don't have
earlier,
a script. We don't have
when
the
I
script
came
on
when
how
I
we
came here
present
earlier,
our
I
view.
said that I was trying to listen and understand because I watched that interview twice, and it got me confused. Okay, but if we are going to
Of
get to
course,
a point
because you
that
are
we are
prejudiced.
celebrating Morara
Because you are
Kebaso,
prejudiced already,
forgetting
you will get confused because you're not listening to understand. You're
I
listening.
cannot listen to somebody who's celebrating an individual without telling us the content and the context we were dealing with.
Alex, the problem is you listen to respond. You don't listen to.
It's not about that. I mean, I've listened to you
That is
still.
why
I
we
was
cannot
down there.
have a. That's why we
I
cannot
left
have a
up here
proper
because
debate.
I know of your divertory tactics. So I let you speak everything you wanted. I have just come up here to say, look, I guess you're diverting from the original thing that Mzalendo, you were here only in the peke yako hapa juu. You said what you wanted us to discuss.
And, and,
And he brought
What
and he
is it
brought
that
a
we
And
are
then
not
video
we
about the
discussing?
person.
joined.
Because I'm
We
not
joined
Alex.
based on that.
Listen, Alex, I'm not you.
So when I
I'm
came
not you to
up here
speak your
based
mind
on what
and in
you
the
had already
manner
given
that
as
you
an
want me to
introduction,
present
I expected that is the
my
debate we are
argument.
going to have.
oh, okay. Let
I mean,
me
listen, you
let
are
me
the
put
one who
this.
is actually giving us a lecture. Mzalendo, this is what I'm saying. I'm not Alex. I cannot present my views in a script that Alex has. I will present my views in the manner that I understand.
I don't know why somebody
And
should
what
keep
we are
calling
saying,
my name instead
and
of just saying
what we
panelist.
are saying is that good mannerism calls or allows people to speak their opinion because everyone has opinion. Opinions are cheap. So and maturity, allows people to debate, to agree or to disagree. The fact that you can echo or want to interject to to disrupt the train of thought of what the
No,
other
nobody
person
is
said
disrupting you,
actually
Mr. Mise.
um,
Mr. You're also missing the
you're
point here.
actually doing it.
Nobody is
You're
disrupting
actually
you.
doing it
We
again
have
and again.
given you an ample time to
I
give your
don't think
thoughts.
I don't
Now,
think
Alex,
you have.
let him just finish, then you can come in.
Yes, thank you. So people like you, Mzalendo, you're doing a great job. You're giving us a platform where we can express ourselves. Morara is doing a great job. He's taking out of his busy time. He's going out there, finding information and exposing it and bringing it to us in a manner that we have never seen before. And technology is helping us to see that. And that will to demean or not to appreciate such efforts is one of the issues that Morara is actually trying to discuss, that as voters, we do not celebrate or we do not appreciate people who go out there and give us the right information that we are supposed to use and use when it comes to voting, so that we can have proper information so that we can make right decisions when it comes to voting. So I appreciate him. Morara is not an angel. He's not perfect, and no one is expected to be an angel or perfect. He has his own flaws, and so do I. So, but he has gone an extra mile, and to me, I see him more patriotic, even more than myself, because I don't think I'm gonna put my life out there like he does, and expose myself to abductions and most likely to be humiliated and to be treated in a way that we have seen people like Albert Ojwang have been treated and disappeared. That is the sacrifice that we were talking, and that's the patriotism that we were talking about. People who put their life out there because of our nation. Thank you, Zalendo.
I don't think I can add anything to whatever you've said. Let me introduce Angela. Angela, na kuona hapo kwa studio. Tusalimie kidogo, tuambie umepotea wapi. Anyway, as Angela is preparing, I'll put a question there. Tribalism divides Kenya and prevents progress. Some argue that tribal identity can be a unifying factor. I need your take on this particular matter. Is tribalism being used by the political class to progress themselves, or an identity to ensure that they unify the community to achieve greater goals? What is your take? For me, I feel that tribalism is just being used by the politician. Angela, sema
Yes,
habari ya masiku.
niko si mbaya. Labda
Ehe.
nyinyi hapo nawasalimia, habari ya masiku ya kupoteana.
Tumepotea, lakini tuko kwa hizi korido zetu za siasa, tunapiga tu kelele hapa tukielimisha watu na tukielimishwa hapa na Alex na Joseph na kina Mise na kina nyinyi wale wako nyumbani, because sio vitu zote tunajua. Pengine wewe ukiangalia hii siasa unaiona kivipi? Wewe uko Nairobi, by the way. Alex, Angela, hebu tuambie, tukurudishe tu nyuma. Tulikuwa tunaangazia hii siasa ya vile Morara alikuwa ameongea pale, akaongea jinsi ya tribalism, corruption kwa siasa zetu za Kenya. Wewe umekuwa Kariobangi, wewe ni mpiga kura kule Kariobangi North.
Yes.
Ama mkaaji wa Kariobangi, uliendaje? Hebu tuambie hii siasa vile uliona.
Hiyo siasa ya Kariobangi ilikuwa very challenging.
Kulikuwa na chama, kulikuwa na ukabila na kulikuwa na pesa.
Exactly. But mostly I think watu waliangalia venye mtu anabeba watu. So I will start with the ODM candidate. ODM candidate alikuwa na opportunity ya kuwin Kariobangi MCA seat. But what happened? Hii story ya kuweka watu wetu kwa mgongo. Tribalism.
Hiyo unamaanisha aje?
I mean tribalism. That is what made Oush to fail in Kariobangi MCA seat. In fact, everybody was alijiweka hapo mpaka Mjaluo, kama Mjaluo, na akachukua Wajaluo, they are the first priority. In all the meetings attended in Kariobangi, anakuja ku address watu. Kila Mjaluo amekuja na watu wake, so hatambui hizi kabila zingine. Watu hadi ameita mkutano kwa kanisa, wewe hujaitwa na mtu, umefika pale unafungiwa nje. And that was the mistake Oush made. And I remember telling the chairman wa Kariobangi ODM, wa chairman Kariobangi, hao venye wanaitana hizo ma grassroots, hao viongozi wa grassroots. I remember telling him that if this is the criteria you are going to use and you are having 2 weeks to election, mnakuja na watu wenu wenye mumeitana ndio wenye Oush anafaa ku address, you will not make it. Wakaona kaa ni mchezo. Niliwaambia hii ni ngumu. Kuna Mluya hapa, kuna Mkamba hapa, kuna Mkikuyu hapa, kuna kabila zote. Why can't you include all these tribes? In fact, hata timu yake ya campaigning ilikuwa only Jaluo. Wewe si Mjaluo, you are nowhere to be seen. Hiyo ndio ilikuwa makosa yake. Tukawa na UDA candidate. The UDA candidate had money. Alikuwa ana spoil kabisa. Alikuwa anabeba watu anapeleka Zimmerman, sijui wapi Kayole, huko kwa mahoteli wanapewa pesa. But the problem with the Udaman, aliwahi kuwa MCA Kariobangi. So wakati alikuwa MCA alitolewa because of what? Tribalism, madharau, hashiki simu, bila alipita kura akahama Kariobangi. Kwa ofisi yake ulikiwa ukienda kwa MCA, nobody is ready to address your issues. Unaongeleshwa vibaya, and that's made that guy wa UDA alikuwa na pesa, but hiyo ndio ilifanya hakupita. Watu walikataa, walisema hatuliwahi mpea hii kiti, akatudharau, akahama Kariobangi, ukimpigia simu hashiki, shida ikiwa hapatikani. So kama hiyo wakati hakudeliver, will he deliver right now? People said no. Let's try another person. Now we had other candidates, like we had a Safina candidate, but with the Safina candidate alipotea ground, akarudi dakika ya mwisho. We had another candidate with the DCP. Like sasa what made DCP to win? DCP had hakukuwa na pesa sana. But what made DCP to win, it is the sitting MP of Nini, Embakasi.
Mwenge.
Not Mwenge. This
Nani?
Kakuya. Yes. What made him to win? Watu waliangalia Kakuya ametengeneza tu barabara, ameweka tu taa kwa mabarabara, ukienda hapo ukilia school fees ya mtoto basari habagui. So watu walikuwa wanashikanisha, suppose hao wawili wakae chini waelewane, wanaweza tusongesha mahali. Na kwa Kakuya unajua haya, akipeana basari, akifanya maendeleo, haangaliangi hii area inakaa Mkikuyu, hii area inakaa Mjaluo, hii area inakaa Mkamba, no. Anaifanya tu as general. Yani hana huyu taxpayer na mwenye si taxpayer, yeye kila mtu kwake ni equal. Na hakukuwa na pesa actually ya kukampeni, ya kumwaga na kupea watu. I think that was the kitu ilipea DCP big win ni James Kakuya, the way anakaa na watu, the way anaongea na watu, hiyo tu juu watu waliona enyewe ametujengea tu barabara, enyewe ametuwekea mataa, watoto wetu wakigwama school fees anatusupport. So wakaona because
sasa unajua Oush kama candidate, Oush amesimama na ODM mara mingi sana na akaanguka kwa nomination.
Unajua nini, what makes the biggest mistake in ODM, they normally give a ticket to someone whom people don't like. That is the biggest mistake that is in ODM.
But
Oush hakupita nomination. The person who had to be in ODM stand with the MCA ticket in Kariobangi was Dagote. Wakamuibia hadharani, wakapea Oush during nomination.
Sasa kulikuwa na hiyo vote apathy na bado kulikuwa
so watu wakasema ODM kila mara ODM candidate mwenye amekuwa preferred to the ground hawampeangi ticket, wanapeanga the wrong person. Hata I've been seeing on online somebody blaming Sifuna, somebody blaming Babu Owino. No, ODM wako na mess in the house, warekebishe wao wenyewe. Wakirekebisha itakuwa sawa, but if they don't do that, wakiendelea hivyo watajipata tu kwa hizo mess wakilaumiana. Sifuna angeenda kukampeni, Babu Owino angeenda kukampeni, sijui nani angefanya. Hiyo ndio makosa inafanyikanga kwa ODM, because I remember 2017 there was a preferred candidate in ODM na akanyimwa ticket, ikawa Baba is giving direct tickets. Huyo candidate alikuwa amependwa sana na watu in Kariobangi, and that is how hizo kura zilipotea, because hawapei mtu mwenye watu wametaka. So hiyo ndio shida moja tena pia iko ODM. Ousha hakupita nomination, alikanyagia mwenzake chini.
Now tuseme hii broad based now, maybe that one I can ask Alex atuambie. Now that there was broad based in Kariobangi, mbona UDA walikuwa na candidate in Kariobangi?
UDA they had a walikuwa na si ulisikia Sifuna akisema broad based si chama.
Oh,
and that's why broad based si chama. Broad based is for main 10-point agenda, si chama. Wauda wasimame ODA si chama.
Haya Angela, umefafanua vizuri sana. You know, and people who are thinking out there that broad
so UDA wasimamishe candidate wao, ODM wasimamishe candidate wao.
Hapo kutakuwa na vita. Hapo tutakuwa na vita hapa. Haya, Alex, Joseph, sema.
Mzalendo, you know one thing, you came here, you bashed me when I said that Kakuya and Akina Major Donk made that candidate to win. You really bashed me, ukaniambia hapana. I really clearly told you, because I have some friends who are from there and they told me what really happened, but you are saying hapana.
I told you. Why are you looking at your side of story while I told you very clearly that the candidate that ODM had was not going to win?
But you said Kakuya did not help in anything.
I didn't even know.
It was not all about Kakuya. It was all about DCP, UDA, and OD. There were players who helped in winning this by-elections.
What I told you, Joseph.
Sasa Mzalendo unasemaga point alafu unaruka. Umeambiwa huyu mrembo amekwambia. Huyu mrembo amekwambia clearly that they Susikize kwanza Mzalendo. They have told you, nasema kile kitu amesema hapo kwa show. Amekwambia that they looked at what Kakuya had done as an MP. Hiyo ndio kitu walienda wakaangalia.
I am telling you what I told you before the elections. I told you the way the lineup is, a DCP candidate was going to win. What was wrong with that?
No, not about DCP winning. I came after the election by elections.
Didn't I tell you that the DCP candidate was going to win?
Sasa Mzalendo nitaongea sasa juu nataka siwache basi ni make point yangu. I was telling you that after the by-elections, I came here and I told you clearly that there were major factors that made the candidate for DCP to win. And most of them, a factor was the MP Kakuya, Major Donk, and there is another one, walikuwa watatu. They influenced that by-election so much. That is what I was trying to say. But you said no, ilikuwa ni mambo ya ODA, DCP.
You are looking at one side of the story. Look at the other side of the story where
I'm looking at one side of the story because DCP ODM was beaten hands down. That is why I'm looking at one side of the story.
She's telling you that was not the right candidate. ODM did an improper
Can you ask her the same question? If ODM had the right candidate, could they have won that by-election? Ask her that information.
Amesikia vizuri, Angela. Kama ODM wangekuwa na candidate other than Oush, wangeshinda hiyo election.
Yes, exactly. They could have won if the preferred candidate could have given the ticket. ODM iliudhi watu juu ya mtu wanataka hawataki kumpea kura. Na watu wakakaa chini wakajiuliza, all these years tunatakanga kusimamisha candidate wa ODM asimame hata pia si tupate kiti, lakini wanatuleteanga mtu wrong. And that is what made the guy for DCP to win that election.
So those guys they never voted because those guys never voted because they wanted a good leader. They voted because ODM ilikataa kuwapatia the right candidate.
Yes, that is what the ODM have been doing. Even in 2017, when you remember even in 2017, kulikuwa na candidate wa ODM mwenye watu walikuwa wametaka. Wakakuja na direct nomination, they need direct ticket, and that's why ODM failed in Kariobangi. 2022, the late MCA Mnuve was in ODM. Wakati wa nomination akatupwa nje. Wakati alitupwa nje na akasimama independent, watu wakasema nini? Leo hatutaacha mtu mwenye tumetaka, and that's why that's how Mnuve stand with the independent, and that's how he won that election 2022.
Na kwa nini huyo
Alikuwa
alikataa
ODM
kusimama
akafukuzwa.
independent? Huyo ulikuwa unasema kwa nini alikataa kusimama independent?
You know, wacha
Because
nikusaidie
Sijui.
if
hapa.
you are not given direct nomination, you always go independent.
That is his opinion. Sasa unajua anangojea alikuwa anangojea tena 2027 because hii ni miaka mbili tu ajaribu tena na ODM. You know, there are people
Hiyo
who
si excuse mzalendo. Kama ni protest vote, watu walikataa kuenda kupiga kura. Mimi najua protest vote tunakataa kuenda kupiga kura. Sio tunaenda kuvotia ule mtu mwingine juu mmekataa kupatia candidate wenu. That is what is called a protest vote.
siku ile utachukua pesa yako usimame, ndio utajua siasa ni nini. Wewe utaongea tu kama abiria, lakini siku ile utadecide wacha niende nifunge pesa niingie nitafute tiketi ya chama, ndio utajua mambo ya ground iko namna gani. Ukiona mtu ana decide kuacha kugombea, kuna mambo mingi ile nafanyika hapo. Unaweza decide uende independent na pia useme hey, nikienda independent kweli hawa Wajaluo watanipigia, si watarudi tu kwa huyu mtu wao wa ODM na nitakuwa ninagawa kura. So
sasa mnajaribu kusema nini mzalendo? Unajua mimi si
like Nick mzalendo, unaona it was on a Sunday when Ruth Odinga came to Kariobangi for campaign. Unajua ODM walifanya nini? Wajaluo walijichaguana wakaingia kwa uwanja na wakafungia watu wengine gate. Watu wanakuja hapo kwa gate imefungwa, huwezi ingia, umeletwa na nani? Surely you are vying for a seat, and then when voters comes to attend your meeting, you are asking them umeletwa na nani? Are you serious with that seat? Are you serious with what you are doing? Unataka tu Wajaluo peke yao attend the meeting? Ati alikuwa analeta unga na I think ka shopping kawa mama. So they had said only 100 people to attend that mkutano ya Ruth Odinga. So wewe kama haujaletwa na mtu wako, hakuna mtu anakujua pale, and you are asking them to vote for you and you are telling them umeletwa na nani? How do you expect to pass? How do you expect to be elected? Na ule mtu amekuja kukuangalia ndiye akupigie kura, unamwambia umeletwa na nani? They closed the gate at Morara Primary. Wakafungia wamama nje, wakawaambia endeni, kama hauna mtu mwenye amekuleta endeni. At long last when Esther Parasaris came in is when she told them no, allow every person to attend this mkutano. It's not only for you. We want everybody. Ndio wakafungulia wamama gate hiyo masaa. Wamama wamesema wacha tuone kitawaramba. So saa zingine ni sisi wanasiasa tunafanya, tabia zetu zinafanya mtu unakosa nini? Unakosa kitu unatafuta. Na hiyo ndio kitu ilifanya ODM ikafail. Na if they don't change in Kariobangi, hata wasisimame. If they don't change, hata wasisimame. Hiyo imeenda na imesonga ikisonganga.
Haya, wana ODM unanisikia mko kule.
I'm very sure the criteria Kaguya has used to retain his MP seats in this, sijui amesimama mara 3 na amekuwa akiwini hiyo kiti. He will make sure he has trained this DCP candidate to use the same criteria kushika wananchi, a retain hiyo kiti ya MCA next.
Haya, hapo ngome ni kali kule Kariobangi. Eastlands, hiyo ni mtaa za Eastlands. Ukitoka pale Eastlands, Kariobangi, Huruma, hiyo area, Dandora kiasi, hapo tu, hapo ndio kuna siasa kali.
Like when you go to Babu Owino's constituency. Sahi mtu wa ODM akisimama na Babu Owino, na Babu Owino akuwe yeye ndiye anamuongoza kwa campaign, ule mtu atasimama na chama cha ODM saidi ya Babu Owino, huyo MCA atapita, because what Babu Owino has done to those people of Embakasi ni West ama ni East, whatever.
Embakasi.
So clearly we can say ODM inakufa Nairobi.
Unaona mzalendo,
Unaona, wataangalia huyo ako na Babu Owino. Babu Owino anatupea hii. Babu Owino amejenga barabara, amejenga madarasa, hivyo ndio wataangalia.
Wacha tusikie maoni ya Alex kidogo. Alex, say something.
I don't know if ni mimi niko na shida, but I think you are overly being insensitive to Joseph's point. Somebody cannot contradict themselves over and over and over and say ODM had a wrong candidate, but at the same time they insist that even if they had the right candidate, Gakuya has the methodology and the outline on how he has won 3 times. So whoever that Gakuya could have supported would have won. I think that is a contradiction. I don't trust what she has said. I think in the end of the day, it looks like that analysis is null and void. If tribalism was the problem, let's put it clear, ODM walikuwa tribal. If the nomination was the problem, let's say the nomination was the problem. If the record of Gakuya was so good and whoever angekuwa na yeye waseme kuwa akishikana na huyu ashikane na Gakuya, things will have gone right. So my conclusion is, according to what she has said, that had ODM had a right candidate angechukuliwa. Now if that candidate angekuwa Mjaluo na Wajaluo wakuja pamoja, hata kama angekuwa the right candidate inge backfire. But hata kama angekuwa Mjaluo lakini tena akuwe the right candidate, Gakuyo 3 times amekuwa a strong person, meaning that whoever he will have put his badge on, nothing ODM could have done. So
Alex, what people say is that
hold on.
Let me correct my statement.
I did not correct you. Just allow me to finish. I just listened to you because you repeated the same thing like 7 times. If Gakuyo is a good MP and he has mastered the art of winning there, and the candidate at a support kwa MCA, the same way you have said kwa, if Babu Owino, because you have repeated that, if Babu Owino stands as an MP, whoever Babu Owino will support, in spite and despite of what party atakuwa, that person will win. So it doesn't matter according to what you have said kuwa, whether ODM chose the right candidate or not, whether Wajaluo walikuwa wakijieka pamoja huko wakapeana unga na hizo vitu sijui na shopping, whether or not, in the end people were looking at Gakuya's record and his ability to work with the MCA so that they can bring development. So the issue of tribalism was not there. The issue of nomination was not there. The issue that really people are looking at, who can work with the member of parliament so that we can get development here, according to the analysis the way I've had. So it's neither about nomination, it's neither about tribalism, it's all about people who can deliver. Nick. So to that, I think Joseph is right and has been right.
Nick, if I say something really quick, because I'm on the road. I think the lady was very clear. She spoke very passionately, and the reasoning behind and the experience, the historical happenings, and the mistakes that ODM or any other party, particularly I think she centered ODM, the mistakes they have made and why they have lost. Okay, and she said, you know, ODM has always. If I heard you, Madam I think Anjali or something like that, Angela, if the mistake that ODM has made again and again is giving a direct tickets to candidates that do not resonate with people. However, in the event that you see, first of all, she made her premise like that and said she identified the problem and the mistake that ODM has made again and again. And say she gave an instance where they said gentleman that you're mentioning that he ran on independent ticket and the people chose him, despite the fact that there was he was sidelined and was not given a direct ticket and a wrong person. The people, the person that the people didn't like, and the people triumphed.
Did the independent candidate win or DCP, Mzalendo?
What are you talking about, Mr.? Are you understanding what you are saying? You are saying it.
I mean, people just jumping here and saying anything. Did the DCP win or independent?
Hey, guys.
The moderator, can you put it correct?
You will have time to correct Mr.
No, but who won? Let him give the premise of the person who won.
Listen, Alex, you have nothing to correct.
Let me make that statement clear. I said that the by-election in let me make it clear.
Who won that election?
I was the one who was given a mic. Alex, I've been keeping quiet when you are talking.
I'm just making it clear because I'm wondering. I'm looking back who won the election. It's not independent.
When will you learn good manners of listening?
But
and
you
not
must have good manners of not lying that the independent candidate won.
No, you are not listening. You didn't hear what this lady spoke about.
That is what you just said.
We all know that the DCP.
Mzalendo, give me a chance to explain my point. I said that the late MCA, the late Munuve, he was in ODM, but because ODM was giving direct nomination tickets, they chased him away. Then Munuve stood with the independent. He won the election 2022 election. Yes, that's what I said.
That's what you said, Angela.
I said so. I said that. I said Munuve was an independent candidate.
You know when
they let Munuve won through independent candidates. And that's why people say that we wanted Munuve in ODM. ODM said, no, it is not Munu. It is not Munuve. And people said, no, we shall stand with the Munuve when he goes for independent candidate. That is the person we shall vote for. And that's why Munuve won the election 2022.
Thank you.
But
my question is, are we talking about 2022 or we are talking about the by-election?
Hey, boss.
That is the question, because Mr. Are you talking about 2022 or the by-election?
I mean,
no, just said the person who won the election this time around was an independent. That is what he just said.
Alex,
he cannot get away with it.
Alex, listen.
My sister, you explained very well. We heard you.
Alex,
but
the problem with you, listen,
independent won this election.
Alex,
and that is why I came in and asked, who won this election?
Listen, Alex. You can't understand because you jump into conclusion. I gave you the background of this lady, how she explained. But because you are quick not to listen, you jump into conclusion.
Me for your mistake. You said independent won this by-election.
There's no mistake here. The problem is you don't listen. You end up jumping into quick conclusion.
That I did not listen.
You don't listen at all.
Said, and I questioned you.
Alex, you do have a history. You do have a history of not listening.
20 times. I'm not going to say your name. And by the way, we come here with different names. By the way,
listen, Alex. You came here with the name. When you come here with Alex, call me. I come here with Mise. Call me Mise. But the problem that you have,
my name is not up there, Alex. Kindly.
The voice I know is Alex. So tell us, what should we call you?
Mzalendo, we come here with our own names. There is a reason we come here with those names.
One thing that I've seen this lady, she's contradicting herself with one thing. She's saying that this is not an ODM affair. Being in a by-election is not an ODM affair. This is about the MCA seat for Kariobangi.
Kangaroo lawyer.
It was Kariobangi seat. It's not about ODM affair. Whether they gave direct nomination or they gave it independent or whatever they did, it was about the by-elections for Kariobangi. And what clearly this lady said, if I listen to her clearly, she said that the MP had really done some good things that the citizens or the residents of Kariobangi saw, and they took it as a good initiative to vote the candidate that was fronted by the MP. And even she stated that if Babu Owino, because I heard her clearly, if Babu Owino becomes the candidate and says this is my candidate, and even if it is not ODM, by the way, if Babu Owino, let's remove even ODM. If Babu Owino comes with a candidate and he says this is my candidate, people are going to elect him because of the things that Babu Owino has done in the Embakasi South constituency. The same as what is happening to other constituencies. Many constituencies, even in my constituency where I come from, Dagoretti, many of those members of MCAs were voted because they were lining up with the MP who was John Kerry at that time. So I think that was the main discussion of this lady, but try to bring ODM in every fold of the by-election. It is swaying people the wrong way.
Joseph, you are very objective, and the lady made 2 points, and you have highlighted those 2 points. Okay, and Nick, I want to say something here. And Alex, this is not 2022. Where
Mr.
you
Nick, can
us.
you address me using the name that I've come here, Nick? Nick, kindly.
Alex,
for the last time,
me
Nick.
as a kangaroo lawyer.
Nick,
Look,
Nick, I've come here courtesy of you. Nick,
listen.
Kindly. Can you?
Okay,
wait,
guys.
No,
this
no,
guy
Nick,
is a drunkard.
can you address me
If
with the name that I've
I'm a
come here
kangaroo
with?
lawyer, he's a drunkard. I'd rather be a
Can you
kangaroo lawyer than
address
an
me here
alcoholic.
with the name
Don't
I've
go
come
that
with?
low. Mister, I don't expect you to go that low.
No,
all right?
this guy is very
No, I don't want you to go that
okay.
low.
Okay, I respect you, Nick. I respect
But
you.
Nick, can you address me with the name I've come here with? Kindly.
Okay, Mister will address
No,
you.
I know him as Alex, and I'll call him as Alex.
Okay, I know you as a kangaroo lawyer, and I will address you as a conman.
I am very much.
You are a kangaroo lawyer. Last time we gave you people to bring into this.
Alex,
and you
Alex, you're spoiling.
No, I mean, if he will go that route, I'll go that route.
No.
No, he has to stop it.
At least I'm a lawyer.
No.
You know, when this guy, no, you cannot purport to do that.
What's wrong with you?
We cannot be demeaned here. He will address me the way he wants.
No, I think Alex and Mise, we are mature
No,
enough.
look, Nick,
but can you tell me? Can you tell him to respect the forum the way I have come?
What is your name? I can't see you. I know you as Alex.
But I don't.
Okay, I can't also, and I know you as the person who conned us. I can hear the name.
Anyway, I don't tolerate name calling here. If you have got anything personal about Mise, or Mise has got something personal about you, I mean, you guys can call each other and sort it out. We don't want.
Look, I don't have anything personal. All we are saying is that, and I don't know. I've never met Alex.
For the last time, address me with the name I've come with here, and continue with your submission.
Alex,
listen,
don't comment.
Okay.
Whenever I say,
you have to put that correct.
Just continue with your submission without mentioning his name.
Thank you.
If that makes him comfortable.
And I don't want him to interject when I'm talking.
Yeah, and
don't say my name. Don't say that name.
I don't interject him. He better listen and understand we are here for a debate. If he carries emotions here, we will deal with him that way.
Okay.
So
I also did. If you bring arguments that are not within,
I don't want you to talk.
We will also mention your name.
I'm not interested with your name, Alex.
For heaven's sake, this is.
See, you're continuing. No, I mean, in the end of the day, I mean, we are not going to allow that. I mean, if you disrespect me, I will disrespect you. Zaleno, I came here courtesy because you are alone, and you allowed me to come here and put my points. I did not come here to be addressed by another individual. Can you allow this person to stop yapping over my name?
One thing, you must also acknowledge your mistake, and Mr. Chu acknowledges his mistake. So we don't ignore the mistakes. We have to show some maturity during this discussion.
But now that you have told him, he said he will continue it. whether I like it or not.
He said, Amise said that he's not going to.
But immediately after that, he continued.
You are interjecting. Well, let him just finish his point, then you'll have your chance to say something, please.
Yeah, thank you, Nick. Sometimes it takes emotional intelligence for us to have a constructive conversation. We are not competing. No one has monopoly of knowledge here. We are all learning from. I like the perspective Angela has given. I've learned something from it, and I thrive. I like that, and that is why I come here, because intelligent people meet here to discuss and show respect to other people's opinion, because that's what it is. We learn. And I appreciate you giving us this opportunity. We've been here before, and we've had similar situations where people feel like they know it all, and they lose the test of the debate. And I like Joseph. Joseph, you are a good debater because you respect other people's opinion, and that's what it is. I've learned a lot of things from you, and that is what it is about this conversation. So we need to appreciate the fact that we come from different tribes, and tribalism, like you said, Nick, it's a choice. You can use it in a constructive way or in a negative way. When you look at the Kisi people, they are known for their industrial, for their hardworking investment and business mind, just the same way like Kikuyus do. When you look at the Luo, they are known for their academic excellence and in areas of expertise, and that is how we embrace one another in a country that has more than 42 tribes. But when we start ganging together as a tribe against another tribe, or to put another tribe down, or to oppress one tribe because we are in power or we are in position of authority, then tribalism becomes a disease and becomes a negative indicator in our country. And that is what is happening right now. Tribe is ganging with another tribe in order to put their own people, because then they will be able to have to be in position of authority so that they can loot our country. And this is a disease. And there are also tribes, or there are people who are tribesmen who are actually, I don't know if they are jealous, when one of their own rises to come to position of authority, they gang up to put them down because they don't want one from their own if they are not the ones who are going to run in that capacity. So it is a challenge, but it goes down to what and where we started from, Nick, where Morara Kebaso has challenged us as voters. When these people come before us, we must vet them. We must look at people who have worked for us, who have delivered, and who mean well for our country, and who have an agenda and knows how they can improve the governance and fight corruption, increase, bring in development, good infrastructure, so that our country can create employment opportunities for everyone to get something to do, so that we can economically lift one another bega kwa bega, sako kwa sako, sijui sako kwa sako, so that we can all benefit.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mzalendo.
Kiswahili ni ngumu bwana. Anyway, thank you very much for that. Maybe I can allow Alex to rebuttal. Alex.
Yeah, I still echo what my sister said. The last point where she reiterated that the voters' mindset this time around was not anchored, because she gave a classic view of the candidates that were expected to win. And the UDA guy had been an MCA before. And what did he do? Aliyama Kariobangi, and then he stopped picking up phone calls, ABCD. And that he had so much money that he could not buy anybody. The ODM had issues. And even though they wanted a certain candidate, even if that candidate had been given, if Gakuya still supported a certain MCA, according to her, because she concluded, after Sai, if there will be a by-election somewhere in Babu Wino's constituency, whichever alignment Babu will be, whether be in ODM or outside ODM, people will choose an individual that will compound with Babu to bring out development. I think that was the conclusion of the lady. And that is why the question came out, Kua. Now, whether ODM did the right nomination or not, whether all those things that happened purported to be tribalism, whereby 100 guests, but only Luos were allowed there, but later on, Esther Passaris came and questioned that. Irregardless of what ODM could have done, the record of Gakuyo is clear. And the people wanted somebody to work with the MP to bring development. Why? He spoke about the bursaries, the roads, so on and so forth. So I go back to what Joseph had asked before. And that's the same thing Winnie spoke today. When a young girl from Bondo says something, then she will be challenged. But when another man speaks, it is leadership. So I think that's a classic Mzalendo. If Joseph, who is purported to be on this side, says something, it will be challenged. But if another person says the same thing Joseph says, then again, it resonates with him. So I came here to, I heard Joseph say the same thing, and I was like, why would Joseph say that Gakuya had so much to do with the winning of the MCA? Now that the lady has come out and said, honestly, Gakuya had more to do than the man themselves, than DCP itself. It makes sense now that the voters in Nairobi are no longer looking at parties. The voters in Nairobi are no longer looking at money. If you align yourself with an individual, because that was our conclusion, if Babu, whatever coalition, whether ODM or outside, supports somebody, if there was a by-election, supports somebody, that person will win. So I think Joseph was right all along.
Anyway,
you should give me my flowers. I told you
no,
that.
there is no flowers that you are going to get from
give
me.
me my
The only
flowers.
thing is that there's no flowers that you're going to get from me today, Joseph. The only thing that you're all getting wrong is that the lady has said that in future, the politics of Nairobi is changing. In 2027, the person that will be who will run alongside the MP of it's called Embakasi West will definitely win that election because of the development.
So that was in the future. It did not apply in this by-election.
Let me tell you, in future.
So, but she said Gakuyo helped the guy. That's what she said.
Do you know Gakuyo was the MP? Just wait. Gakuyo was the MP even when Munuve was there. Did you know that? Gakuyo was the MP even when Munuve was there.
Now you are re-explaining, which I will allow.
I am telling
but
you,
according to the conclusion of the lady,
Angela, Munuve alikuwa MP, alikuwa wa chama gani?
Alikuwa independent. Unajua Alex hakunishika. Nilikwambia people were looking for ODM candidates, wakati ODM ina fail to present the right candidate mwenye watu wanataka, that's how people shift and look for another option. So ODM failed Kariobangi to put the right candidate mwenye watu walitaka. So people wanakaa chini, watu wakakaa chini wakajiuliza, what do we do? Maina alikuwa MCA akahama Kariobangi, hashiki simu, kienda kwa ofisi yake unatusiwa, tuwezi jaribu tena. So what next? Kaguya ametufanyia kazi yako, amekuwa mwaminifu na ameshika huyu kijana. So let's focus with the Kaguya because ODM ni kama hawataki kutusikiza sisi, wanataka kujisikiza wao.
So I came here, Abigail, Mzalendo. I came here, Mzalendo. One thing, Mzalendo, I want to say, I came here and said that if you are going to go by what Abigail is saying, it means ODM is losing it in Nairobi as a county. If they are not going to be having the right candidates, it means ODM is in Kukufa.
ODM is losing everywhere. We have told you here many times, 100 times, that ODM could not field a candidate in Malaba.
So let us just say ODM is done. Even you talking about the future, ODM is done. Because what is the things they are doing.
Now you agree with what Angela is telling you. Now you agree.
I don't. The place that I'm differing with Angela is one thing. You cannot come and say, you know, the question I really asked myself. Alikuwa amesema that candidate who was in ODM ule alinyang'anya nomination. Why did, if he was so popular, why did he not go for independent? Because they are
hiyo sasa tuwezi mjio, tuwezi.
Sasa hiyo basi kama mwezi jibu hiyo iwezi kusaidia na kutusaidia.
Sasa wacha nikuulize. Kama mtu amekasirika wakati wa nomination na hajatangaza kwamba anasimama kama independent candidate, so unajua hatungemforce asimame kama independent candidate, tumpigie. Alitaka tiketi ya ODM.
Ndio nakwambia,
na siasa iko na maneno mengi.
Umekuja ukatuambia 2022 walivote candidate wa independent kwa sababu pia ni kama alinyimwa nomination ya ODM. Kwa nini
alisimama
hii kiti ya Kariobangi kwa roho yako na unajua unaweza kufanyia watu wao kazi? Kwa nini usimame na independent?
Sasa Angela, wacha nikusaidie kujibu hii kidogo. Ukikuwa kwa nominations za ODM, when you lose, there are two things that happen. Either you can decide to go to independence or to, if you love that party so much, which so many people wanapenda hiyo chama, wanasema I can't win. Maybe in his mind he knows that he can't win without ODM, so he decides not to run for the seat.
So what are you saying? He was not popular. He was not popular at all. He needed a party to popularize him. He needed the ODM to popularize him. He was not, because we understand when you are a person who is popular.
Political
you need to go for it as your own.
What?
It means to be propelled by a party so that I can become an MCA. If I know I'm popular, even the party itself, if they don't want to give me the nominations, I'll go and do it independent. Najua watu watanipigia kura. And I'll give them the independent.
So unajua hapo ni uamuzi wa mtu kibinafsi. Hiyo ni uamuzi wa mtu kibinafsi. Unaona, sisi hatuwezi muamulia. Juu hata tulienda kwake watu walienda kwake wakamuuliza, ni mbona huwezi simama? Akasema hapana, chenye ODM imenifanyia, give me time to relax, I settle out, nione yenye nitafanya nini, nitafikiria next. Unaona? But when Mulube
Abigail, hii inamaanisha hatuwezi saidika kwa saa hizi kwa sababu alishindwa. Hiyo ni kumaanisha alishindwa kwa sababu kama ungewalisha uwezi simama, umeshindwa na hiyo by election. So hata hatufai kuwa tukiongea kuhusu
hiyo. Niulize huyo, I'm a little bit confused. Wacha nimuulize swali moja anisaidie nielewe. My sister, maybe you are on the ground, musical ground. I wanted you to help me here. If ODM puts its acts together and start nominating people that are popular on the ground, is ODM dead or ODM can revive itself in Nairobi?
It can revive itself in Nairobi if it does the right thing.
Thank you. So Mzalendo is wrong by saying ODM is dead.
ODM, the way it is structured at the moment, you have given it a rider there. If it does things the right way, is ODM going to be popular?
Yeah, that's why, you know, I was with you that ODM is dead until she has said that.
ODM,
you know what?
ODM
is just doing wrong things.
Do you
but
know
if
why?
it did the right thing, Because, you know, the narrative from the very beginning is we were looking at ODM. Had ODM given us the candidate that we wanted, there was no any other alternative.
And
so
that
which
is what they've been
means,
doing
according to what
everywhere.
she had said, that even Gakuya, with his record, will not support an individual who was not in. If ODM had done the right thing, nothing could have prevailed over him.
You know, it's very fascinating, Zalendo. It's very fascinating. One thing that I've clearly learned here, that we come and say that, you know, it means that ODM has never won that seat since maybe 2017. Because 2022, they never won that seat. And this time, they have been won by DCP. So what does that tell you about ODM in Kariobangi?
I have told you, and I keep on telling
No,
you.
Mzalendo, go to the point. Stop saying that they bungled with the nomination. Talk about ODM as a party.
You know Dangote, you know Ush, these people, I know them personally.
You know, you came here and you told me
Nairobi politics many times. I know.
Mzalendo, even the candidate who was given the nominations, Mzalendo, you remember he was your friend.
Oh, he was my
You
friend.
told me Ush was your friend.
Win. I told you he's not going to win.
Yeah, and if you told me he's not going to win, what does that tell you about ODM from if they have not won this seat since 2022?
I'm telling you, the internal politics of ODM is the one that doesn't give it the right candidates, and they've been saying it. Even the officials in ODM, including the now CS for finance, is saying that the problem in ODM is internal. They need to rectify it.
Then another question I have. In the by-elections, were we going to nominate an ODM candidate or are we going to vote the MCA for Kariobangi?
Political parties have to present a candidate. By-elections, political parties, they have to present a candidate.
So we are not talking about ODM in Kariobangi. We are talking about Kariobangi as a ward. Not Kariobangi as a ODM nomination place. Because nomination, that is their own thing. That is not the candidates who are brought forth. UDA had their own candidate. DCP had their own candidate. ODM had their own candidates and others.
UDA did their nomination. They gave their direct ticket, whatever they did. DCP did whatever they did. And this candidate, at the end of the day, they meet in a by-election.
So, that's why I'm asking. Then you came here and you told us in the future. What if this candidate for DCP does very good things for the people of Kariobangi? Do you think ODM will stand a chance again in 2027?
You know why leaders are elected? They are elected to work for the people. All right.
Yeah. So it is game shot. We cannot talk about. We cannot talk about something that.
If he doesn't do a good job, whether he comes with Gakuya or not, he's going home. Simple.
Yeah. Yeah, but we need to give credit where it is due. You know, you are bashing my side when I talk. We need to give credit to Gakuya. He campaigned for this candidate. Sifuna was there campaigning for the ODM candidate. We need to give it up to those people who are campaigning. Why do you go to Mbeere North and you say that Kidiki and Kinaruku did a very good job? But when you are coming to Kariobangi, you are saying, no. They did not do a fantastic job. What is this we are doing?
Who did not do a fantastic job? If I'm the one who told you, that DCP is winning even before the by-election, what are you talking about?
No, we are talking about what came later. I tried to tell you that Gakuya and the MPs that went there, I even mentioned for you, Major Dong. I told you those guys, they had an influence in that by-election. And this lady has come to confirm what I was telling you.
You see what you are still not getting it. I don't know whether you'll ever get it. You're not getting it.
No, you are looking at your side of ODM. I asked you about the by-elections.
Let me simplify it for you. If ODM, she's telling you, if ODM had allowed a free and fair nominations in Kariobangi North and got the right candidate that resonates well with the people, a candidate for ODM that embraces each and every other community, the DCP candidate would not have had a chance.
Now that negates
even if Gakuya
your point that ODM is dead.
Even if Gakuya,
what you need to tell us is that ODM is not dead. ODM needs to correct its internal structure.
That is what I've just explained to you. If they
you say right. ODM is dead.
Oh God!
And I asked a question, my sister. If ODM does the right thing, what will happen. That's when she said that, oh, if ODM listens to the people, it's still a popular party, it can win. So for you and me, we had written off ODM. There is nothing it can do to revive itself. But the lady is saying that the ground,
the way it is right now, the way it is structured right now, even if that election was held 5 times, each and every month it is being held the way your ODM is structured, it will lose. It will lose. That's what we are telling you.
Maybe you need to speak in Doluo so that you can understand yourself.
Mzalendo, even this thing that Mzalendo and the other panelists, hata hii kitu yenye Gladys Wanga alifanyia deputy wake, watu wanajiuliza huyo ndio chair lady wa ODM tunataka atuongoze. That's how people are asking themselves. That is the type of the chair lady you are having. Anataka kutuongoza na hiyo tabia ako nayo. Watu hawafurahishwi na vitu zingine zenye zinafanya.
Ile kitu nitakwambia leo, as long as ODM itaendelea hivyo, I'm telling you it clearly, ODM is going to lose a lot of things. Ikiendelea tu vile inaendelea. And the infighting is not helping them.
And that is why I'm telling you that hizi vitu zenye Gladys Wanga anafanya pia hazifurahishi watu. Watu wanajiuliza sasa yeye ndio chair lady anafanya deputy wake atijua ameenda kusupport the opposite candidate. So watu wanajiuliza how, kumaanisha huko hakuna democracy in ODM. Mtu haezi jifanyia kitu ile roho yake imetaka. So people are like, hivi ndio watakuwa wanatuletea watu wenye hatutaki tuwapigie kura. Hivyo ndio tutakuwa tunawaangusha tu wakienda nyumbani.
Abigail, naweza kuuliza swali. Who better suited can you see picking up ODM like ipeleke mbele as a unit between these leaders, because we have the leaders who are trying to come up. Wachana Guru Odinga. We are talking about these leaders who are down here. Akina Babu Owino, kina Winnie Odinga. Who are you seeing ako mzuri sana kuchukua hii nini ya ODM?
Angela ongea.
The person who suits to lead ODM is a person who should wear the I know he cannot wear the shoes of Baba the really, but the person who suits to lead ODM is a person who loves all people. You spread love all the people. It's not that you choose fulani ndio rafiki, fulani unawatenga. No, you have to unite it. And uniting a party, it's not a joke. It's not easy. But because when you see Babu Owino, ile mawazo yake venye anawaza si ile mawazo ya ule mwingine, and that's why you normally see them collide. You understand? And ODM needs a person who say no to corruption. Is the person who will lead ODM. But a person who says yes to corruption cannot lead ODM. Like the way I'm seeing Gladys Wanga seeing it, like saying that he's there to be seconded by President William Ruto to be his deputy. That one cannot lead ODM. He cannot take anywhere ODM. In fact, that one will make people defect from ODM because of that. Because ODM stands for the love of the country, not for the personal interest.
Yeah, but Joseph did not ask you for the quality. Joseph asked you to help us name an individual.
And if Babu Owino stands, Babu Owino stands for the people of Kenya with no corruption, justice to be done in Kenya, Babu Owino will stand to be the leader of ODM. Tukiona tuna macho. Because Babu Owino speaks the mind of the people. Babu Owino speaks the mind of ule mwananchi wa chini wa kawaida. Babu Owino stands for a person in asimami kwa mtoto wa kutoka Nyanza. Babu Owino stands for all Kenyans. And the problem that
I understand that we are in for a fighting that will be very difficult, because inaelewa watu wako Nairobi, they have a very divergent views with watu wako in other areas. That is what I'm feeling in ODM. Hiyo ndio kitu nimeona ODM iko na. Because when you go to places like Homa Bay, napata kuna ubabe fulani ya Gladys Wanga. I try to emerge like a ODM party chairperson. And then when you go to Nairobi, it has a very different view of what Gladys Wanga is. And ukienda place like Coast, unasikia wengine pia wanasema lazima Joe wachukue hivi. So I think ODM is in a crossroads and it is difficult for them. That party, I don't think it will remain the same. It will never be the same again. Even as we are going to 2027 election, it will not be the same. Your party,
Joseph, Baba took a very long time to build ODM. It is not something that just came within a year or two. It took over 20 years to build a very strong coalition with
Let me interject there.
Grassroots network.
Let me interject quickly. When I look at ODM personally, because I'm a life member of ODM, the best thing that could happen, I think we must go back to history, back when Jaramogi died, and I think Baba saw that even though that was his father's party, and the structures and everything that had been left behind, he did not monkey with it. He left. Actually, I don't know even up to date if Ford Kenya headquarters is in Ajip House. I think it's still there because that is where Jaramogi wanted it to be. So what happened was he moved out, started another movement from Bootstrap because he didn't want to disrupt the establishment. And listening to Winnie Odinga yesterday, more than, sometimes these funerals and rallies does not give you a deeper perspective, or it can give you bits and bits and bits. So you connect the dots, but you don't form. It's kind of zigzag. But today, no, yesterday, it's already past midnight here. Winnie Odinga during the International Human Rights Day was told to give a speech about Baba. Little did he know that they were actually celebrating Baba during that. In her speech, you could see somebody who is not comfortable in ODM and who no longer is going to be part and parcel of ODM. I believe she's taking a different route. I did speak with Mzalendo, was it 2 days ago, during Winnie's auntie's funeral. Ida intentionally brought the two ladies in front of her. That was Bibi Junior na Winnie. But I think she was playing a game to us. I think Ida was trying to sort out the ODM mess. And in that short time, Winnie acknowledged Mama had yielded her time for her, but she ended up making a political speech, but a political statement. And that statement was that, I came here with a very good friend of mine. It wouldn't be good if he leaves without him being mentioned. I will not call him here to speak, but may he stand up so that we can recognize. And it kind of surprised me, but I don't think Winnie could have done it without the consent of the mother, without asking the consent of the mother. And today, after Winnie's speech, then Babu Win also made another speech. Okay? So, where's the future of ODM? The future of ODM is already in factions. Kaluma one day crying out that, ABCD, the next day saying, 4 million votes, all of it are in the basket to give. Sifuna saying this, the next day saying this. So, what is my conclusion? My conclusion is, before 2027, if Winnie is a wise person, I think him and her and Babu Owino should be brave enough, like Raila was, to form NDP and try it out in the future if we have another by-election, maybe before the election 2027, they should test the waters and see if they can win, or Babu Owino should resign and seek re-election within Nairobi, which I think Babu is a coward. He cannot do that. Or even if he did that, Ruto is not that kind of person who can give him space. I think he will politically finish him. And that is why I was criticizing Morara Kebaso for saying that, Sifuna should quit. You have to be very careful the kind of animal we are dealing with. But my take is the future of ODM, if they wanted to retain the support that Baba had, they can never retain 100%. That is a fact. They have to start, as Mzalendo said, it took 20 years, okay? But the first step is very important. And that step, okay, is what's the right word? It's to just get out of ODM, okay? And form another outfit, obviously, and start speaking for it while preparing for 2027. I think the likes of Amisi, the likes of Sifuna will find a new home without explaining too much or being seen as betrayers. They will still retain their voting clout within Nairobi and other urban areas. They might lose some areas, in quotes, not really losing, but in quotes, because they will be stolen. But Nairobi will be difficult to steal from them because these are city politics. Another thing I will concur with my sister is, if they have to change the structure and the leadership, Babu Owino, for me, will be, if they have to force that it's a Luo, because I know that's one thing that they will want first and foremost to do, will be a better person to lead ODM, because like Baba, he doesn't represent Luo Nyanza. Therefore, it will not be seen. He will not be seen as a Luo. So that's one advantage that Babu will have more than any other Luo young person who will want to take over. So the city politics at center stage will give him an advantage. However, I think for me, I have reservations with that. Why? Because we need not just to look at that only. If ODM has to survive about 50%, because it will never be 100% anymore, because there are so many factions within. I don't know. I'll take another bet that is a little bit weak, but because of how rhetorical and how he has worked with Baba over time, and while there will be real honor of ODM as a puppet for national unity for ODM, I think they will brace and put Sifuna for the sake of it. If I was an insider of ODM at the beginning to test the water before 2027 and see 6 months down the road, Sifuna is one person I didn't know that could fit into the shoes of Anyang' Nyong'o after being... Anyang' Nyong'o was a very effective Secretary General. So when he resigned, or he said he's not going to be after, his tenure was over, I questioned who is going to take over. So when Sifuna took over, he kind of came as too young and too weak and still uncharted in politics. But I think he learned the game quickly. And I think what also helped Sifuna to do his work better is when we took him out of Kandui, because I think he was contesting in Kandui. When we realized we had a field, I don't know what happened, and we lost our senatorial candidate in 2017 in Nairobi. And we brought him to Nairobi just a month or 2 months to that election, and he did very well. So I will vouch for him. Why? Because when we were doing the ODM registration and sensitization, when we started from Siaya, we came to Kisumu, then we went to Busia, all over, and we finished. And we finished in Mombasa. Then I don't know if the Nairobi happened. Sifuna was the MC, and I think he did a superb job. And the job he does on the podium and as a Secretary General, I think so far it has come to be appreciated, okay? And he's a person who can be easier to negotiate with other parties, okay, than Oburu and others who are seen to be very conservative and very tribal, people who will be surrounded by the Kalumas, the Wanga, so on and so forth. So if you want to take out this ring that is seen to be very controversial, as my sister said, the questioning of Gladys Wanga, his behavior on attacking and retaliating on the deputy governor post the by-election. So to show that they have cleaned up their mess, and they are ready to move on, I think Sifuna becomes an easier person for other people like Matiang'i, Kalonzo, and so on and so forth to look and say, I think then the opposition can trust the negotiating team with ODM. But currently, where it stands, the leadership of ODM, I don't think anybody can, trust them negotiating, because they know very well. Even Winnie Odinga has come to say, kuna watu usiku mchana wako na sisi, usiku wanauza chama. So you knew he was talking about. So Babu Owino comes out, but I think the Luo factor, is what the question is, that why should ODM still be led by a Luo? If they're agitating for rotation of presidency, then I think even the leadership of ODM should be rotational. Other than that, I think Babu Owino has the stamina and the capability and capacity to lead ODM. I believe so. His student politics give him that edge, and the city politics give him that edge, and his passion. And last election, I think he traversed the whole country, giving himself a name in the podium. So between those two, but if they agree to work together, why do you push here? Okay, one leader and then 20 chairmen. I think that also kills the party. That will never help, of putting sijui Joho and muweke sijui ni nani, muweke the former governor wa nini. So for me, number one, Msifuna. Number two, obviously, Babu Owino. Apart from that, if radicals if a radical thing will have been done, I think Mama Aida will have stopped mourning. I think she should take over, just as the Nehru took over the Congress in India until today. Who cares if Mama Aida becomes the leader of it? After all, she has been the leader of ODM from back. I hear that people like Jalanga had to go see him in the back to get the domination of ODM. I don't know. I hear that if she says no, everything is no. I mean, after all, she's the one who has been the actual leader of ODM, because people like Alai essentially have criticized before Kua ODM is a family party. That's my view on ODM.
And I think Alex has put it very well, because you told that Mama Aida was a very strong and very, what do we say, alikuwa na ile principles, ile ukali ya ile yake. So I can clearly tell if ODM as a party was under Raila Odinga, I can clearly say that if Mama Aida was the way we were told even in the funeral, it means that ODM was under Mama Aida. And they should give her a chance to take the reins of ODM, because this is becoming now, it's becoming now like a drama. Ni kama tuko drama, zile drama nini za shule.
Anyway, thank you. Thank you, Alex.
I just wanted to say this. When Sifuna was doing hizi harambe zao na kina Babu Owino na hao MP na Kadhoni wa Mjomba, I remember when he was in Kiambu, he said that we called Kadhoni wa Mjomba, tukamkalisha chini, tukamuongelesha, tukamuuliza mulifanya aje ndio mkapata hii kitu. Na Kadhoni wa Mjomba alitupea akili, and I want to make sure each and every corner of this Kenya, I'll be stepping there to give people support so that we can make ODM to be a big chama all over the country so that we get these people support so that come 2027 hata pia sisi tuko na uzito. But when Sifuna speaks that, the problem with the ODM is that we have other parasites who say that Baba left us in a broad-based government. We cannot go against Baba. That is the fight that is in ODM. It is this broad-based government. Because in broad-based government, people are getting money there. Uko kwa nini? Kwa asali unachota asali usiku na mchana unajaza. So ukisikia mwingine ana criticize you, unaona kaa we should chase this person away. And I remember Baba Wino saying this, that whether they will chase him from ODM or not, 2027 he'll be vying for governor in Nairobi, and people they are like, whether he stands with the independent candidate, we are supporting Baba Wino. They won't mind the chama.
I think
ODM,
ODM
has to sit down and ask themselves, ni wapi tumekosea? Hizi chuki ndogo ndogo zenye wako nazo na wenzao waache. Hizi visarakasi kidogo kidogo hizi za kina Gladys Wanga, hizi za kina Boburu Odinga, hizi za kina Peter Kaluma waache, so that they unite the party and come up with a strong candidates all over Kenya. But if they are still having this mentality of we are in broad-based government, those are the people who will spoil ODM. When you look at Robert Alai, what he normally takes on internet, zenye anaongeanga, I'm very sure I had, you know me, I'm in Kenyatta National Hospital, so we interact with so many people. I heard one lady saying that ni sisi tulimpea kura, lakini venye ameendelea kuongea matope hivi, tunataka kumwambia asafiri salama na hiyo matope yake yenye anashindanga ameongelesha watu vibaya. And if ODM doesn't give the house in order, it will end up losing so many seats in Kenya come 2027. Because those who are in broad-based government are supporting Aladwa to be the governor for Nairobi, and Babu Owino is also vying for governor in Nairobi. So unaona watakosa mwelekeo, and hivyo ndio watapoteza kura, na hivyo ndio kutaenda na watarudi kujilaumu. So ODM have to put itself in order and do the right thing to the people.
Yeah, thank you, Angie. Let me just add it has been a very fruitful discussion, and maybe what we are missing, there's only one point that probably people are not seeing. The issue of Winnie. The issue of Winnie, I've written so many articles about Winnie. The day the Raila's family will speak, because initially we were told ODM is Raila Odinga, and Raila Odinga is ODM. So the party ODM was Raila, and right now the daughter is taking a different route, and either to cement the father's legacy or to create her own path politically. And she has also realized that the young people in this country need to be heard. The older people in ODM are suppressing the voices, and for a long time, Winnie is not coming to identify herself like a Luo leader or any other leader. She's identifying with the Kenyan community. But when she was in Siaya, she was saying the right thing. She talked like, what her father would have said, the history of the Luo, so that you identify with her as the upcoming leader. So we will hear more about Winnie in the coming days, more articulate, more precise on what she really wants to become, and if they cannot be given space within ODM, then they are going to break it, that ODM. Or William Ruto and the broad-based alliance team will have to, the ODM members who are in the broad-based will have to join UDA. I think that is coming. That is something that is coming. The way the politics is, William Ruto does not need ODM more than the way the broad-based members need him. Yeah, for Gladys Wanga to win the elections in Homa Bay, she needs the support of William Samoei Ruto. Yeah, for people like Kaluma to win again in Homa Bay, they need the support of the government. They need to ride on the projects that the government are doing. But now Ruto had played his cards so well. Whether they want to move away from the broad-based government, the people, the Luo people, were yearning for development for a very long time, and Ruto gave them that bait. So the likes of Mbadi, the likes of Opio and I will still remain within the UDA faction. And you heard today Mbadi saying it very, very clearly that he never supported William Ruto at any given time. He never prayed for him at any given time. He never even wanted him to become the president of the Republic in Kenya before 2022. But now in 2027, he will campaign for William Ruto and his vote is with William Ruto. Now, you don't stand to bargain when you're already in my house, all right? ODM is already in Ruto's house. Those ones in the broad-based government are already inside. They're already captured. You don't. So Ruto is looking for people who are not within his house. So the members who are already in ODM, they're already captured. The PDP, the broad-based alliance, the Wangas, and all that. Those ones already captured. He doesn't need them anymore. Now he needs the people who are outside, people like Babu Owino, people like Winnie, people like Sifuna. Those are the people that William Ruto is looking for. People like Gashagwa, uh, and so many others who are differing with him, because he played the cards of development in Nyanza and it worked. So William Ruto, I think his business in Luo Nyanza is done. So ODM has to get his house in order. What Winnie is saying is that we can't negotiate from within. We must negotiate from a stronger point of view that we have the people. Now they are saying that we have the young people, and for a very long time, the Gen Z did not have a leader. So we might see a Gen Z leader emerging from this coalition of Winnie Odinga and many other people.
Mzalendo,
Now, yes,
another question.
Joseph, as we close,
Yeah, I
as we
want to ask
close,
a question before we.
yes.
Did Badi win any elective seat in 2022?
Mbadi contested in 2022, but was prevailed upon by Raila Odinga. He wanted to be the governor for Homa Bay. He was prevailed upon by Raila Odinga to step aside for Gladys Wanga.
I just wanted to ask that question.
Yes, I hope I've answered you. Now,
what you need also to add on that is the division of ODM did not start today. The remnants of Ruto sympathizers ever since the Men in Black, because remember, even if Ruto left ODM, he actually bankrolled the young thugs within the ODM faction when they wanted to do the party elections. And that is when the Men in Black came in and thwarted the whole plan here, Ruto. And among them was Ababu Namwamba and Joe and obviously Mbadi. But many people do not link Mbadi to that. It's not that Mbadi was denied the nomination. Baba understood the moves of Mbadi. Mbadi is a very shrewd person. On the front, Mbadi was the stalwart that we saw organizing very ardent to the cause of ODM. But behind it, he ate with Ruto a lot. So Mbadi becoming even the minister for finance, for me, has never surprised me. Because looking back now, through nominations and everything, Ruto really infiltrated. That's why people like Professor Jeda, people like Jalango, all these people ended up having very fantastic campaigns because Ruto already infiltrated. So, Mbadi case is not like Baba uh, did not understand what was going on. But Mbadi had grown horns and had become too powerful, and he was ready to be used by Ruto by all necessary means to divide the South Nyanza region. If you remember, post him becoming post the election, his name was not even part of the nominated members of parliament. They forced him to become. He forced himself, and it brought a lot of problems. But Baba thought he had already stopped him. But now, when it came to parliamentary assignments, Babu Owino was supposed to take the park. Was it the park seat? And then Mbadi came out again. He caused a faction and started. That seat actually was reserved for Babu Owino, if you remember. So what am I trying? When you look at the history of Mbadi, it's not like Baba prevailed over Mbadi. At that particular time, Baba had already known what Mbadi wanted. Even this coming to the government of William Samoei Ruto, you could see what had happened before. The people who are called the regenates of ODM, those who had already rebelled. If you look at them, was Jalango, Tomo Jenda, Karolio Mondi, and most of these people, obvious, Jaka Kimba was the person that really surprised me of all people. All these people are coming from one area, and I think they had cahooted together to obviously separate themselves. And Baba being Baba and understanding how that could have had an effect, you know, he reluctantly, as a politician, to have that perspective of unity and coined the word experts. But I think Mbadi is an individual who had already gone. When you saw Jakakimba go, when you saw Karolio Mondi go, when you saw all these people go, they had already gone. So some of these people that we think that are in ODM and we are saying they are what and what, these were already Ruto people long time ago, but they didn't, under the leadership of Baba in ODM, they did not have that courage to come out and do what other people like Obado did, or probably Kidero did. But I think they found a way of doing it, including people like Eliud Owalo. These are people who are bought long time ago, and they didn't have the courage to do what they later on did. It took them time. The future of ODM, as you have said, there are some areas where the Ruto still works with people or not. I think he has already weakened them. And one of the people that honestly, even if Ruto was to support him openly with a free and fair election, they will not win are people like Junet, are people like Mbadi, and even James Oreng. I have a grip in my heart that even though he speaks like he's against Ruto, because if you remember very well, under the leadership of Baba for a very long time, the same way my sister said, the Siaya gubernatorial seat, they've never had their way. Remember at the beginning, it was Oburu versus who? Was Oburu versus that young man.
They fought, and they were denied both. Rasanga came in for 10 years, not because he was, loved. He was a compromise candidate. This time around, Oburu was fighting again with who? Orengo. And again, not that Orengo had the capacity and capability, but because Baba was running for presidency, it was seen that, again, this man becoming a governor, that's very wrong. Ruth Odinga again becoming the women rep this side, it was wrong. And also, as you saw, the sister-in-law was also running for MCA. There are people who, even if they will be perceived they won in Luo Nyanza, it is because Ruto announced them. Even if they were to support Ruto, and Ruto was to support them with everything, if the votes were to be counted, I will guarantee you, Junet will not win, Orengo will not win, and Gladys Wanga will not win. Those are the three that I can tell you without a doubt. The rest, for me, they are debatable. Maybe Anyang' Nyong'o was run the third term. Maybe he would have won. Maybe because he's a little bit gentle and independent. But my point is here, Mzalendo. Even if you say that they need Ruto, even if Ruto was to campaign them every day and the election was to be free and fair, I don't think Gladys Wanga will win. He will just be, she will be announced.
People, Alex, these people are facing corruption charges. They need Ruto. I mean, if they decide to go the other way around, EACC will be knocking in Homa Bay County the next
even
day.
if there was no ACC, let's put that everything is okay, okay?
Oh yeah, everything
even
is
if
okay.
everything was okay, I am saying, if all factors were okay, Mzalendo, and we went to a free and fair election, Gladys Wanga will not win. You know that.
I know that. I know.
Okay. So, and that is why I think ODM is very confused, because they know that fact. Now they will force themselves on Ruto.
The sad reality, and this is what we have been debating many years. She's the chairman of the party, and they have to do a nomination for the gubernatorial race. So if if Budi wants to be the governor for Kisii, for example, Simba Arati is the deputy chairman for ODM. I mean, do you think that you'll get a fair chance, and you are with the people?
Yeah, but remember, Mbadi is also very vengeful. You know, vile Mbadi, even when he speaks, when he's angry, he's a very vengeful person. Yani uso wake tu inakuonyesha. I don't think Mbadi has ever forgiven Gladys Wanga. That was a total humiliation of you being the chair of ODM, but losing your nomination. I think Mbadi will also want to revenge on that.
And all along, he kept on saying in the campaign trail, me as the chairman, I am the chairman. I am the chairman of the party.
I remember him even coming to sort out the issue of Ongeri and Simba Arati in Kisii forgetting hata yake imeenda. Do you remember that?
Hiyo kitu anaudhi nayo watu. Hiyo kitu anaudhi nayo watu sana. Mimi ndio chairman.
Mimi ndio chairman. Aladwa Nairobi ndio chairman wa ODM. Mimi kama chairman wa chama, nikisema
on that again, I think my sister alinichekesha sana mpaka nikashtuka. I wanted to ask her a question. Seriously, like ODM is contemplating on putting Aladwa on a ballot for, like, seriously?
Yes.
Like you take it from Wanyonyi, Team Wanyonyi, who is a capable leader, and then you want to put us Aladwa.
Alex, wacha nikurudishe nyuma kidogo. Wanyonyi wanted to be the governor for Nairobi. Do you remember that story?
Very well, yes. And that's why I'm questioning.
Akaambiwa hii wewe rudi huko kwao. Ni wapi? Bungoma ama ni wapi? Busia.
Ni Bungoma. Ni brother
ni brother tu Wetangula speaker.
Kwao ni Bungoma. Akaambiwa wewe rudi huko Bungoma, tutakupatia tiketi ya chama ODM, uende uwanie huko Bungoma. So Wanyonyi team has been campaigning very, very hard in Bungoma, which I don't think he is going to win. I highly doubt. In all these scenarios, mkae mkijua baba yuko. Raila Odinga is not alive. He is gone. We have.
But Mzalendo, team might win
Bungoma.
because he's against his brother Wetangula with what Wetangula is doing. That one can give him a chance.
But also remember, my sister, also remember, I don't know if you watched the news about 2 days ago, 3 days ago, whereby it was laughable. I don't know if you saw that, Mzalendo. The governor for the former speaker of the Senate, the governor for Bungoma, was actually saying that Speaker Wetangula has marshaled the MCA together. They want to impeach him. Did you see that?
Yeah, Lusaka.
And he comes and he comes from Wetangula as what?
Lusaka. His name is Lusaka.
Lusaka. Yeah, he comes from Lusaka. Actually, won from Fort Kenya. Okay, so it tells you that also Lusaka is thinking that. My sister is thinking that actually Wetangula is vouching for his brother.
Ni mchezo inachezwa hapo.
You are right, ni mchezo.
And I think Ken Lusaka is in his last term. Ken Lusaka is in his last term, Alex. Ken Lusaka is finishing his term because he was a governor in
you know that issue of
ile wakati wa wheelbarrow. Si alikuwa wakati wa wheelbarrow, zile zenye zilikuwa zinatoka 100 and
Joseph, the issue of consecutive comes in. He lost, he came back, so it doesn't say that 2 terms only. I don't know how they are going to sort that out. So
when you lose and then you come back, it is 2 terms. About either 2 terms consecutively. We need
the word consecutive.
Yeah, we need to be told. We need to be told about that word.
We will research on that, and then next time we will have that.
Okay, no, I have heard it over and over for the governors. They are saying he can still go.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
We need to know. That one needs to be addressed because, but Ken Lusaka leadership.
But Kidero went for 1 term, and then he was vying in Oma Bay for another term. Then you can be vying forever. Anyway, that we leave it to the lawyers to tell us. If you are there, tell us whether the governor can vie for another term if they had lost in the previous election, if they can come back and vie for a 3rd term if they have finished their 2 terms. So there's a gap there. 1, he lost, and then
and what about
he won again.
Nick?
I think it is just 2 terms. You have to be there for 2 terms. 2 terms means that
I was also seeing the former CS of health Nahumicha.
Pia yeye anataka kuwa governor.
Huyo aache kuota bwana.
Mimi nakwambia watu wameiba pesa mingi sana.
Unajua they are toiling. Unaona my sister, the frustration that is coming from Trans Nzoia is giving them headache. Whether you like the guy or not.
Nani natembea
amepea watu shida mpaka they are thinking of bringing in a
zimekuwa tamu.
Ndio nawaambia ule mtu Ruto anataka ni kinao natembea. Anyway, guys, ebu Angela, ebu funga, tunafunga station saa hii. Funga na maneno yako ya mwisho. Angie, or Jose, you can go before Angie.
Yeah, what you have clearly seen, I think Alex has explained very well about the problems that are happening in ODM. I don't think even I can add anything. I think the likes of Akinabadi, if as we go as per what our brother has said, that it has been, the guys had even gone to the side of the government before even they were in ODM. before even we went for the election for 2022. It means they are coming to finish the job. And what was the job? Which is the job they are coming to finish? They have come to finish ODM completely, where they with the actions they had been told. Kwa sababu kama inamaanisha walihama wakaenda kwa side ya serikali before hata tumeenda 2022 elections, it means they were being told to wakule ODM kutoka kwa ndani, and now they have come even to finish it. And I don't see a scenario where if they are going to continue being that they are the forefront leaders, they are telling us what to do. I think telling the ODM members more so what to do. I think they are the ones who are eating the party, and the party needs to reemerge themselves and take it. The likes of Akina Babu Owino Sifuna and Ubini and other like-minded people, they need to start taking control of the party, because the party now is going straight to the dogs. For Morara, me leave it as that. Mimi nilisema submission yangu because that was the conversation before we started. He needs to stop being a fragile person. If he's going to take the bull by its horn, bwana, you need to become a very strong person. Unajua kuna mtu anakuambia mzalendo uingie politics, ni wewe unajiambiaga uingie politics. Nobody has forced him to go and do those things. So don't come here crying saying that ati mambo ikiwa moto sana unasema hata wewe, hakuna mtu anakuambia uingie jikoni kupika. So kama joto ni mingi huko, unatoka tu unasema utakula. So I think that's my submission today.
All right, Alex.
Yeah, since Morara Kebaso was the topic, rather his perspective on the future or what we ought to do, I will advise him that now that he has amepitia njia katikati kama watermelon, amerudi back to politics. That's a good thing. Retiring at 29 was not worth it. And that was not even retire. I think he should correct it and say it was a sabbatical leave, because nobody retires at 29 in politics. I mean, that was a very short, period for somebody to accumulate and say that it's good to retire. And if he has reincarnated himself, and he wants to put himself on a national platform and build himself for the future, I will urge him to look at these two constituencies, Dagoretti and Embakasi. I think Embakasi will be easier for him to win if Babu gets out, because the person who I saw was preempting on the seat, and he came out in a very ashaming way, is Alai. Alai actually boldly say today, unajua ile kiti ilikuwa yangu, mimi tu ndio niliachia Babu Owino. I don't know if you heard him say that, and that was very laughable. And so if that is what they are contemplating in Nairobi, to give a ticket for Alai, I will ask Morara Kebaso, because hiyo ndio ile area ya utawala nini wa Kisii ni wengi. You should take an advantage of the tribal card there, and actually pave his political path by also entering into city politics. I don't think he can survive city politics. City politics will be difficult for him because, first and foremost, people have not forgotten he worked with Ongwae, and Ongwae left a very bad legacy. And during his Vampire Diaries, he never actually went to investigate also the corruption of Ongwae. So people were really watching him. So I don't think Kisi Nyamira politics he will be able to handle it. He will handle the Nairobi politics. I don't think Nyota Yake has deemed yet. I think there are people still like him. His Vampire Diaries were very educative, a very superb job that he did. And he should start making friendship. Yeah, as Mudavadi could say, don't criminalize associations. And he should know how to throw his jabs to the right people. Right now, throwing jabs at Anisi and Edwin Sifuna
one way or the other, they are a darling to a few people around the country, not in one region. So I think he must learn to work with them. But otherwise, I wish him well. I mean, coming back to politics is not a sin. I mean, as he said, the pressure was too much. But let him know that when the kitchen is too hot, don't get out. It makes you a weaker person. Let him not be too quick to defend himself. Last time when I saw people wanamkaranga juu ya pesa, so on and so forth, he used to come very unhinged, okay? And very unhinged, anatoa video ya 3 minutes ambayo saa ingine niambie jina yako, ulilipa siku gani, nitakutumia pesa yako back. He must have a thick skin. Yeah, he must have a thick skin. Now that he will want us to look back that, you know, he entered into politics very young and there was a lot of confusion. Now that he has taken a sabbatical leave, he must show that that sabbatical leave actually really helped him. So I think that chance he will be given now that he's a subject and the media is already looking for him to interview him. Like that was a very good interview, taking away the criticism. It was an eye opener. Many, many things that he said there. So let him keep up the consistency, but as so critical. Salasia started by criticizing leaders. Unaona where he is right now. I think he alienda too much. So, and again, lastly, Kebaso, if you don't play social media politics alone, go to the ground. Go to the ground. Social media politics is good. Media politics is good, but the ground is where you become your skin becomes thick. And if you are going to respond to everything on social media, inakuwa on the record na inakuletea shida. So you should stop responding to those things, especially is in the city politics, obviously, and educated voter will always karanga you. So let him ignore. The more you are abused, the more you are prepared for leadership. And the easier it becomes for you to campaign. Because by the time campaign comes, there's nothing new that will come. The old has passed. Behold, the new has come. So,
I think Nani Alex has given me a good idea. I'm going to advise a candidate that I'm always supporting, Fanya Mambo, to leave the social media limelight and go to the ground.
Underground, unafanya mambo
going to pass the message.
inaitwa too much English. Too much English does not give you the seat. The ground ndio kuna kura. Anyway, Angela, uko ama umeenda? Inakaa Angie ametuacha. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for that wonderful discussion, although it was heated. But when you see Budi here, Joseph here, Angela, and Mise, we expect some fireworks. And today we looked at what Morara Kebaso interview was. In the conversation, it's a mirror of our society, a mirror that is reflecting who we are, what we tolerate, and what we must change. Make sure you watch the full interview here on Africa 24 and share it, discuss it, and look at the challenges that Kenya is having. Because without this kind of discussion, then we are not going to go anywhere. It will come from you and many others who share the same vision. I am Zalendo, and this is Africa 24. And as always, we speak the truth to power. Asanteni sana wale mulikuwa pale kwa comment section. Thank you very, very much. I hope to see you on the other side. Karibuni sana. Leo jioni tena we will have a very, very heated discussion with Ben and many other panelists who are going to join us. And don't also miss our Friday discussion, which is very, very insightful most of the time. So karibuni sana. Friday we have a very very powerful discussion. I will be here with the brother Joseph kama kawaida. Jose, I hope that utakuwa.
Yes, I'll be there, lakini sasa unipeagi link nini, uniandikiagi ka message nilikwambia na
Hebu Jose fanya hivi, unajua nini?
You know, today was not even 60 minutes. Today we have gone 3 hours.
Unajua na niko job asubuhi bana. Hebu nipatie, hebu andika namba yako hapo kwa comment section. Ninaitafutaga pale baze, naitafuta na wewe unajua mara mingi unaingia na jina zingine fani.
I think is a mobile. Nikibadilisha mobile, kuna ingine inajiita jina yangu na kuna ingine inajiita.
Kuna ingine bwana inajiita jina ingine hapo Magda sijui nani, lakini mimi najua huo sasa ni wewe.
Lakini ikisoma jina itasoma. Nimekutumia namba yangu.
Nashukuru. Unajua na usitoke, ngoja kidogo, usitoke hapo. Usitoke hapo Joseph. Okay guys, thank you very much. Asanteni sana na tuonane kesho.